First, I have to mute my YouTube. I think. And we're live, dude.
Hey, yo.
We'll give people a couple minutes to show up. But yeah, we're if you're watching, if you're joining us, we are short a signal involved. He something came up with him. It happens. It happened to me last Friday, and we couldn't do this. What else? Jose's on the way. He's making sure that some customers are getting taken care of before the end of the day. So he'll be on in just a few minutes. Other than that, let's see. What else do we have going on? I'm here. We're here. And we were almost getting started talking about the big topic of conversation that I kind of want to cover today. And for those of you who don't know, Nine Jet Dude is Andrew. He's a buddy of mine from Instagram. We share a lot of information. I've learned a lot from him, honestly, for the 9th gen, and because it's a very different car to the RSX. So I took, I don't know, 15-year hiatus from modifying Hondas, and a lot of stuff changed, you know. And so Andrew, he's been a good guiding source for information, and it shows me what this community is like, you know. And I thought it died away because the forums are not what they used to be, and I'm not that comfortable with Facebook groups. But there's still enough of each out there to build friendships, to connect with people, to, you know, help each other out. And this guy has been a huge helping hand. Let's see. Let me invite a few other people here, because some of our supercharged people are not on yet. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. There's a link. Sorry, guys. I'm just inviting some of the group here. There we go. If you build it, they will come. So, Andrew, you have not one, but two 9th gen Civic SIs.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So halfway through the summer, you messaged me that you got a big brake kit, a Brembo. Was it Brembo kit?
Yeah, from the TL Type S.
Yeah, and this is where like me and you started talking a little bit more. We traded phone numbers, and you know, there's a funny story about that, but we don't have to get into that one. The Instagram hater.
There is no spoon.
but that's all I'll say about it. So we got to talking. Hey, Daxter's my boy. We just had Daxter. So I was pretty happy because you said you were doing some of these mods to go to a track. You want to go, you know, have fun with your car, like we all do, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I think like a month later, you messaged me and said, dude, and you sent me a picture of your car. What do you call that car?
Well,
the second one.
For social media, I call it the white bitch.
The white bitch.
Because I said regular bitch, and I got coached on Facebook for saying that.
Oh, yeah. People don't like that kind of language anymore.
No.
And for those who don't know what that thing looks like, I'm just going to share a picture really, really quick right over here. Bam, 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 bam. No. Give me a second. There she is. Sexy.
Oh yeah, it is.
Just
I've,
sexy.
I've had like 3 different types of people. 2 of them are my good friends. They took photos of the car, like professional photos, and they're like amateur photographers starting out. So I've had quite a few people take pictures of the car.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like these are not just like your typical um, iPhone photos. These are pretty good photos we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so there's the car, man. That thing is, what's funny? What gets me to it is I'm gonna leave a picture up. People are really, really loving this car. Um, the cutout bumper, man.
On
Um,
the back,
yeah, I mean yeah. Do you have a splitter down there, or you had a splitter?
I don't have a splitter. It's just pretty much just cut straight halfway. Um, I met a couple at that Cars and Coffee where that photo was taken, and very nice people. And they were into cars like a while ago, and then they stopped. And now they're getting back into the car game. Um, he has a welder in his garage. He said that he'll make like templates to where
Okay.
like the bumper cutouts, like the rectangular cutouts, do like a face plate on each on inside on outside, and it would keep it a lot more rigid and it'll be a lot more cleaner. And then get the whole bumper repainted and go from there. I like the way it looks, to be honest.
Yeah.
On the fender part, I replaced the rivets with actual like stainless bolts. Um, so it's on there. It's not going to come off. Um, it's just I'm just been working on it. It had a big splitter and a canards in the front. I took the canards off. They weren't really stable on there. So I took them off and then I trimmed the splitter in the front.
You can see the holes where the canards were, right there.
Yeah, right below the shape of the bumper, where the headlights is, and then I did the dampening. No, sorry, the tension detention wire with the swedgeless quick disconnects in the front.
You
Those
did
are hard to find. Hmm?
you did dampening with the quick disconnects for
For the tension wire, the
okay.
triangle.
And
Yeah,
those tension wires, they look like they're going to the actual bumper um, reinforcement or the bar rather
the
than like
bumper beam. Yeah,
the plastic bumper, which everyone does because it's easier, but it doesn't actually help.
in my opinion, it should be connected to something that's on the chassis.
Yeah, me too.
It's the strongest point. But I did that. It's an eye bolt. It's a pretty decent sized bolt. Went right through it. Had a big drill bit. Fender washers. Tighten it up, and then I just put the tension wire. Stainless, very strong. And then the swedgeless was hard to find. You can't really find it anywhere. But I found them on eBay for a good price. So they're pretty expensive. They're like $20 a piece.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's very good quality swedgeless. I didn't know what that was until I started looking up on track cars, on speed hunters and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we could see here, it's we'll talk about the radiator pretty soon. The car, you can tell it's been prepped for track, very minimalistic. Uh, the Tell us about the head swap.
The head swap was done from the by another guy that the previous owner had the car. Um, it's a guy down in Miami. His name is Renardo. He did a good job, what I can see, on the head swap. There's really nothing wrong with the car. He did the whole work, but I've done quite a bit of research on the head swap. It's fairly easy, to be honest. You just got to buy the right parts, and just it's not that hard. I mean, you got the Type S oil pump from K Power, right, or K Miata?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. This one has a K mod oil pump, from what the previous owner told me, and it's got the PRL block off plate. You could see it underneath the engine.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually have that because when I bought my K mod, I
mhm,
didn't buy the block. I didn't click add the block off plate,
mhm.
and I ended up just getting the PRL like just as an impulse thing. But it's a really
Okay.
cool block off plate. I think it's a nice finish.
It's a nice finish too. And so I want to build a separate engine myself and do another head swap on it, and then eventually do like high compression pistons and stuff like that. But it's got stock pistons, stock rods. It's got Ferreira 5000 flat face valves,
Yeah,
92 lift springs on SuperTech retainers, SuperTech guides. Pretty much the whole head's built. It's got the 3.2 drag cartel cams. The cams are pretty aggressive. A lot of people with this head swap that I follow, quite a few people, they do the drag cartel 2.2s because it's streetable and it's good for a daily. Um, so, but they're maxing out with E85, making about 272, 284, around one of those numbers. But this car can make more power. It's sitting right now making 284 wheel horsepower on E85. Um, I'm going to get an exhaust done up. I bought all the exhaust components from Stainless Bros. Um, I have my fabricator, Josh Miller. He's gonna fab it up here in my local town. So do that full 3 inch. It's gonna have V band from the header, V band to the axle back. It's gonna have one high flow muffler. I don't care, but it's gonna be really loud. I really don't care. I love it. Um, and then get the RBC manifold fully ported, and then get retuned by my original tuner by Rob Rien. I think that's how you say his last name. He just moved down from up north where he used to live. Now he lives in Lake Mary in Florida. So he lives about an hour and a half away from me.
okay, that's
So
good. It's good to have a tuner nearby, man, especially somebody
it's
you trust.
of course, and he tuned my coupe on eTune, full bolt-ons. It drives great. There's no hesitation on the throttle body, which a lot of people have hesitations with because I have the ZDX throttle body. He fixed it. It feels great. It's my daily now, my coupe. So
Yeah,
I swapped over quite a few parts from the coupe to the white car, put my Brembos from the coupe to the white car, um, my hybrid racing clutch cables, a better Hassport rear mount, the first generation of the black bracket one. What else did I do? That's pretty much it. I just put the hybrid racing detent springs, and the gears feel a lot stronger when you go into gear now. So it's really good.
that's cool, man. I mean, that's a really really good build right there. It's it looks like you got the car. It's already pretty much ready to go to the track, give you what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, like if the silver car, which is another ninth gen, a coupe, isn't really going to be your track day car anymore, it makes total sense to, yeah, let's put this stuff into there. Now, your coupe, are you going to keep the seat, the driver's seat in it, the bucket seat?
Um, actually, the white car has a Buddy Club seat in the driver's seat now, on the white car. So when he sold me the car, he took his racing seat out of there. So thank God I still have my Buddy Club seat, and I was able to put it in the driver's seat of the white
All
car.
right, makes sense. Makes sense.
Mm.
Jose's joining us now, live from South Carolina.
Hello.
What's
Hello,
up, man?
Jose.
How
Nice
you
to meet
doing?
you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to
Better
meet you
late than never.
Just too many things in life, man. But all good today. I didn't
Jose,
even have time to set up the fancy camera or microphones or nothing. So, excuse my.
yeah. No, it's fine. You're here, and I think that's what's important. Jose, I don't know if you were tuning in, following along what we're talking about here just now. Um, Meet Andrew. This is Andrew, ninth gen dude on Instagram, really good friend. He is the
Awesome.
guy who uh, got my gears going with the coolant thing, the radiator, which we'll talk about later.
Thank you, man. That's all
And
I
the
can say for now.
thermostat.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
He's like, oh, dude. Jose and I have been e-tuning my car because
Okay.
it really just had a startup tune. So he saw the difference before and after. Like he's like, dude, look at those ECTs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice. I was
Not
driving today from work and it was at 170. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I hit like 168, but it's really cold up here, so it makes absolute sense.
what's your weather out there? What's your real name?
My
Andrew.
name's Andrew.
Andrew, what's your ambient temp?
I'm sorry. You said the temp. Oh, it's like around like in the 60s and the 70s right now.
Oh, because it's nice and warm too. So
Yeah.
I was just curious about the difference between where he lives, which you are. What are you doing today, Barry? Ambient wise.
Ambient temp is actually a little bit warmer today. Today was, I'll say like 42, but still
That's still, yeah, that's
big
different.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good enough. But yeah, great car, man. I was kind of following along as I was driving and moving bags and helping the family here, but I caught up a little bit and got a pretty nice looking car, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, the car is
it's,
awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's very awesome.
Did you hear what the name of the car is? You like car names, Jose?
I missed the name though. I didn't get to catch it.
Andrew, what's the name?
I call it the white betch. The BETCH.
Nice.
Oh, it's hilarious. I'm like, he keeps hitting me up like, I'm working on the white batch.
Nice.
But yeah, this is the car. It's got a head swap already, Jose. You know,
Oh wow.
that hot topic we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about the head swap, Jose, you sent me a video last night. Was that from Tony?
Actually, no. Tony shared that with me from a group out on Facebook. That there was a gentleman that shared that information with the group, and Tony caught onto that. Said, "Hey, Jose, I gotta share this with Jose for the team." And sure enough, really useful. It was good to see. So,
Yeah, and Andrew, I don't know if you saw the video, but this guy, he shows you a K24 block, and he shows you the head is on the other side of the table. And after this video goes live, I'll try to put a link. I'm not sure if we're allowed to really because
it's a private video, and I haven't talked to the guy yet to ask for permission, so I haven't.
Yeah, that's why I almost shared that video in the forum today, but I'm like, it is private.
Now, we could show some of the info like that in a video like this. That's a fair use. Fair use is fine part of it. So.
Yeah, I don't think I have the link ready, but
I'll text it to you.
You know what? I do. Let me stop being a bitch and and get it going.
That's gonna go well with a lot of people now.
So we'll do this now. We'll watch this video, and it's very controversial. If you're technical about stuff and you have an opinion formed by other people, mostly. But yeah, Jose, Andrew was really thinking about possibly maybe getting a Merc Racing Supercharger.
Awesome.
And then he landed on this car, right? And basically he's very happy with the car and he's going to keep it at night, which I think is a good idea.
Nothing wrong with that.
Andrew has 2 9th gens. So this is his toy one. And then he's got a pretty nice coupe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems to be the thing nowadays. People can just have one Honda. I gotta have both or a few models or it's crazy. I can't blame them with it. They're all different. They have their own different taste, right? The different, or you could build them differently.
It's like a fish hobby, like I like fish, like not for eating. I mean, I'll eat them too, but I like, aquarium fish. And dude, Daxter says, "Hey, Jose, what's up, man?" Daxter, we'll get back to. So before we go to the video, Daxter wants to know, Andrew, if you have a stock transmission.
Yes, it's a stock transmission. It's OEM gears and everything else.
Cool.
I do eventually want to upgrade the gears to the M factory ones that you have.
Oh, dude, they're delicious. they're good. Like Jose, it's like, why are you in fifth gear and you're doing like 30, bro? Like, don't do that. I'm like, because I can. I shouldn't do that, put in load. I get it, but just cruising, it's just a beautiful thing. Let's go ahead and play this video. I want to make sure you guys can hear it. You guys on the chat, please let me know if you can't hear it. It's very strange sharing YouTube videos over this platform. Can you guys hear that at all?
No audio yet. No.
Oh, crap. Give me a hot second. I'm going to pause it, right?
Can you play it on the device and share it through the switcher?
I guess I could. I don't have the thing.
Oh, no.
I don't have the thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
Let me see audio.
And people, excuse me, I'm doing my usual dinner at the video.
Yeah.
A dinner and a show.
That's right. It kind of goes, right? It's 8 o'clock. It's dinner time for many.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember how we did the proper thing. Maybe it's this. Can you guys hear that at all?
No.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just blast my speakers. Can you hear that?
Somewhat.
You got to get the microphone closer.
Exactly the same. I'll do it right now.
So for those watching and listening, pretty much what's happening here is this gentleman is matching the head gasket from a K20 head on top of the K24 9-gen block. He's showing where the head gasket can seal, obviously, completely the hole on the K20 head. This is coming up next. We're showing the ports, how they flow, everything lines up perfectly. And that's the port on the head.
But it seals completely against the gasket right here.
There you go.
But obviously, this corner right here, it does not seal. So that's actually not that critical because it's just a greenback. There's really no pressure here other than crankcase, but you shouldn't have any pressure in your crankcase because hopefully you're doing breather mods for the valve cover and whatnot. So we know it seals completely against the space on the head, and then this gasket doesn't seal just in that corner. So when this gets clamped down, there's still material pressing over this corner. So really all you have to do, some people will get this welded and then surface it. Draw just a little bit of a RTB line there or Honda bond, whatever you like to use. I use both.
Fair enough, Terry. That's good enough. So pretty much what he's saying is some people weld that. Yeah, some people pretty much weld that spot. Is what he's saying, and then have the deck, have it decked or machined. Or since it's enough surface, you can just put Honda bond or whatever sealing and RTB it, clamp it together, and you're good. It's a low pressure zone. It's just an oil drip from the head, so there should be no issues with pressure or leaking or anything like that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
It makes sense to me. Now, did the audio come through? I know it's a little bit ghetto and whatever, but I basically just put my mic up to the speakers.
I did a little over talk on it when it was quiet. Then at one point it was very clear, so I let him talk. and towards the end it was kind of cutting off. So I just ended with what you just heard.
Yeah. So if you saw the video and you're paying attention, it makes sense in a way that to me it makes sense how he explained the whole thing. And I mean, like, you could get a visual. That is very low pressure. It's just dripping oil back down into the oil pan. And depending on what you're doing, it may be dripping just a very little bit of oil, like high G forces, etc. Now, will someone have the courage to do that and not weld it? And here's the other point to that. The welding part, it's a $200 job from 4-piston. Is that a lot to spend when you're building a $6,000 motor? No,
No.
it's not. But if you're doing this by yourself at home, the way we built my motor, I would totally just say, yeah, screw that. I don't have a welder. Jose, you weld. But it's also time. We noticed that we spent a lot more time than we thought on little things building my motor. So things that added up, cleaning the head, that took 4 hours to do.
Well, and that's the thing.
Making sure there's no.
And that's the thing, Barry. If you go weld that spot, now you got to machine it. Now you got to clean it. Where if you just seal it and just go with it, you're fine.
Yeah.
Just do a good job cleaning it and sealing it. You should be all right.
Yeah, I know Hans is thinking about the K20 head. I thought about it myself. If I was to do it, I would probably just, listen to that guy's video. Just based on what I know of the engine. The high pressure side is the other side. The other side is where the oil pump is. It's where your oil pressure gate, whatever sender is. That's the high pressure side. I know, Andrew, what do you think about that all that nonsense we just talked about?
I haven't really heard anything about that oil dripping in that corner right there, where it's not high pressure. I've always been told to just weld that corner and just get it machined, and then that's it. You know what I mean? There's people out there that do put Honda Bond in that corner, and it seals it. I don't know. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just do it right the first time. I mean, because I actually was thinking about getting a spare head and sending it to 4-piston to get fully ported, and then they do everything, the welding in the corner. I get the valve train components, and then they can put it in. And then that would be
the welding is done at the block.
Oh, at the block?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was done at the head.
No,
but people are welding the head. They're welding the head to match that sort of whatever it is.
Okay, I see what they're doing. So they're shaping
the block.
They're shaping the head to match the size. So okay.
Yeah, because in the corner it's square on the block, but on the head it's got like a little bit of a dip of a corner. Yeah. So then they fill it in, and then they machine the head, and then they made it on the block.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying better safe than sorry. 4-cylinder unicorn power. That's my guy. Oh, I think he's one of your customers. He just got the head unit.
Yay.
Dude, let me know if I'm wrong. A lot of people message me on Instagram like, dude, I got my head unit. And for those who don't know what a head unit is, it's the actual supercharger. That confuses a lot of people. But yeah, I don't know. I think the K20 swap is a very cool setup. It obviously makes more power. Some people are seeing 284 on E85 and stuff like that, revving the engine back up to like, what does yours rev to?
8,500.
8,500.
Yeah, that's what the tuner did it on. But when I get tuned with Rob, I want to do 8,500. Let's see what he says, what he thinks.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a 7,000 RPM pull today for the first time
in many, many, many years.
It's like, what? And we're trying to rev this to like 8,000. Again, if the tuner is like, yeah, we could do this, we could totally do this, we'll do it. But it's like 20 psi that it's pushing up there, wide open throttle
Jeez.
from like, I think from like anywhere from 5,000 RPM all the way to like 7. It was just steady like 20 psi, like badass, dude.
That's awesome.
And it's just like, and again, the car's not optimized. We don't know what numbers it's making. It definitely feels faster than it was before. But we'll see. I emailed about a hit unit a few days ago. People sometimes use this chat because they can get to Jose. Like, Jose,
So we're not going to answer. I'm sorry. No.
he's eating.
As you can see, if I had plenty of time, I'll be here playing a game with you guys, and I'm not. So I will catch up. I promise. I was supposed to take a vacation, and I'm not taking a vacation.
Oh,
So
dude.
I will be working till the end of the year.
No.
Just not taking orders. That's it.
That hurts, dude.
Yeah.
But maybe we can make, dude. I don't know. I don't want to pressure you, but Dino Day, you're coming up, January 13th.
Mm-hmm.
You plan on staying one extra day?
Depends on how things are going. We'll see.
See. I'm trying to take this man out for dinner, for drinks, and he's just like,
In and out.
it depends how things are going. Because you're also visiting a few other customers.
That's right. That'll be a customer visit as well. Yeah.
There's Joe or Joel.
Joel.
He's got an NSX K-swapped with a Type R motor.
Wow.
2300
with a 2300 blower.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty cool build. I think if you look up on Instagram, Bastard NSX, that's his build, and it's a really cool car. I saw it and I was just like the wheels he's got on that NSX, I really want them on my car. I think he's got Graham Lights CR57s in like gunmetal blue or something. It's just like the most beautiful wheels I ever saw. No offense to your Advents, Andrew. They're nice too.
What, on the white car or on the silver car?
The white car.
It's got Buddy Club P1s. Yeah. People call them cozies, but the Buddy Clubs became 9-inch wider.
Gotcha.
It's a staggered setup.
So how wide are your wheels? How wide is your stance?
17 by 9 in the front and then 17 by 8 in the rear. It's like a track setup.
That is fantastic, man.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
Your impression, okay, I got to ask this question. What was your impressions when you went to 9-inch wheels? What was that moment like?
Well, I have 17 by 9 squared on my coupe. So, and those are work emotions and they're pretty wide, but it all depends on the offset that you get.
Right.
But
you're handling. Well, here's the thing, right? I was one of those guys. I had the RSX. I went from stock wheels straight to 8-inch. Immediately, I knew this is nothing. They didn't change anything. So I went to 10-inch wheels.
Oh wow!
And oh my God, the handling difference, the grip is just insane. So, what was your take when you went from stock wheels to that size? Your handling, your grip. What were the changes?
It was night and day difference.
Yeah.
The cornering was much better. The launches I didn't spin that much on launches, which I don't really like to do launches.
Right.
But and that was on the coupe. Those have Federal tires. I mean, they're just the regular Super Steel 595s.
But it still helps. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But on the white car, it's got Yokohama tires, and I spin second and halfway a third all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I just roll into second and I just get on it, it's just constant spinning, and I hate that.
Yeah.
So I got to get new tires, and I want to do full race traction balls too.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
she got a little work. Okay. But yeah, once you get that dialed in the suspension, you're gonna see those tires in action. Where you can accelerate. You're still gonna spin them. It's a front wheel drive car, right?
Yeah.
But you can add more throttle now. Once everything is set up, you'll be able to take off a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
Doing launches won't be as much of a chore. it just transforms the car entirely. But if your car is squatting, then you're losing out the grip because the car is going to lift, and all your weight's going to go to the back. So now you're going to make your wheels not grip as much. So that's what you got to watch for. You can have a big setup, you accelerate, the car's still squatting. Well, you just took all the advantage out.
Yeah.
So
I usually, on the coilover setup, I have the God speeds on the white car, and my stance is more like a dogfight stance, a little bit higher in the rear than a little bit squatter in the front.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, helps with the weight transfer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt, guys. Yeah.
No, man, I like
fine.
you guys are chatting. This is really good. It's giving me time to find another picture I wanted to talk about. Because again, like, what can I say? Things, it's like in the world of, just like in anything else, in the world of cars, everyone's an expert. And there's only one way of doing things. And I say that, half-ass joking, because we had a live stream with Chris from Redshift Motorsports. He gave us a little bit of history about. I hated saying goodbye to that night. Dude, I know. I will get back to that, man. We'll get back to that. So just to finish my thought, we had a live stream with Chris from Redshift Motorsports, and he shared a little bit of history about the suspension game, or the history of coilover suspension, or damper, how it's progressed from where it used to be. And his point, he got to a point where the guys who helped him come up and helped him learn used to work for Coney, the biggest manufacturer of like aftermarket autocross, like tracking coilovers back in the day. They still are, people are still, they're still a very good damper. But there were three guys that wanted to experiment, that wanted to do things a little bit differently. And, they sort of got ousted, and they that's where BC comes out of. That's where a lot of, that's what propelled Chris to be what Chris is doing now. So that whole backstory is to talk about really the coil radiator. And I will tell you this, I usually post stuff on Instagram. I usually post stuff on Facebook. Nothing has gotten more attention than this damn coil radiator, dude. And here it is. This when I was working on it in my garage. It's a beautiful piece, first of all. So if, number one, a lot of folks said, you might as well return it and put your OEM one back.
What?
Basically the same thing. And I didn't respond. I'm the kind of guy like, okay, you're allowed your opinion. That's fine. But I saw the result.
I'm gonna interrupt a little bit, Barry.
No, go for it, dude.
If you have a stock car with an intake and exhaust, it makes no fucking difference. Okay, I understand that. You got boost going on. You got 19 psi in your block. Let's talk about how much didn't make a difference. You're gonna need cooling with high boost, especially on that car. Now, did you make another change with the thermostat? Yes, that also made a huge difference. But another thing is, even on a stock car, why would you do it? The headers of those radiators are plastic.
Yeah,
they like to crack. They like to overheat, but they like over time with all the heat cycles, they will dry out, they rot, they crack. And then you're on a trip here, 9 hours away from home, you with a busted radiator, and Sunday you can't get anything done or go anywhere. What are you gonna do? You put in an all aluminum one. Guess what? That problem is solved for almost life. The only problem you'll have to deal with is a rock hitting your radiator. So it's to me, it's a worthy upgrade, getting rid of the plastic tanks alone. So.
Yeah. Now here's what I'll say. I don't know how much the radiator by itself will do, because I changed the thermostat right away.
Right. It is bigger, right? It is bigger. The radiator is thicker.
Way thicker, dude.
Right. So the volume of content of water will make a difference alone.
it was almost a half a gallon more that I had to put in there
Right.
because I took all the water out. That stuff is expensive from Honda,
Mhm.
and I put it back in, and it's like I need more. So thankfully,
Right.
I had an extra gallon laying around, or else, but still, it holds more volume. Um, yeah. So Jose, remember the customer you had to do the whole swap with the blower last week?
Yeah.
He's he's the guy who's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do the thermostat. Um, and I don't want to put him on the spot, man. I'm sorry if I'm doing that. I almost took his advice because I do
Mhm.
know he comes from a good place. Um, he said he had a bad experience with the thermostat. The car wouldn't get up to temperature, and it has some drivability issues for him. Now I don't
Mhm.
know. That's him, dude. Message me your name because I don't want to keep calling you 4-cylinder unicorn power forever. You don't have to put it here, but hit me up on Instagram. So I was like, okay, I was convinced, like, I'm not gonna do this. I'll just drill my stock thermostat. Like, I'll just put one hole on it. That'll help.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, Hans did join us. He's joining us from the car. He's a trooper, man. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah,
Say
man.
hi, everybody.
So
What up, man? How's the drive?
it's boring. I'm on a highway, so
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. Drive safe, dude, man. I'm gonna keep chattering here. I'm gonna get back to you in a minute.
yeah, yeah. Go
He's
ahead.
gonna finish his thought. So here's my issue. Even if you're stock, like you said, Jose, what's the running temperature on this car out of the box?
You were at the 212, 210, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
low 200s.
Yeah.
if at the track I was at low 200s. That's constant airflow, which I was like, wow, this thing is maintaining 201 to something, whatever. But think about it. Let one thing go wrong with the cooling there. How much time do I have to save the engine?
Zero,
I
literally.
got zero. I got nothing. Now, the car's running now at about 177 at the most. Yesterday I was driving around. I drove for hours yesterday, and so the car got hot. What you would consider heat soaked. I stopped, dropped off a buddy, said goodbye, whatever. So the car sat for maybe 5 minutes, and it got to like I think 188. So that my new heat soak is 188 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice. Which means less heat soak to the blower, less heat soak to the manifold. When you get back on the gas, it will cool down a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Instead of being at 215 or two, when you let it sit there for a long time in the summer, you don't have to heat soak so much and have to cool up so much. And it's better for the aftercooler system too, because you'll have to fight that heat as well.
Yeah, because if your head gets really hot, your intake manifold will get really hot. Eventually, your cooling system is just fighting a fireball. Um,
The oil.
the oil is overheating. So Matthew Fuller, thanks for joining us, dude. He asked a good question. Are you worried about losing efficiency if the car runs too cool? Most cars are designed to run at a certain temperature, right? Um, I there's some part of me that wonders how the car is gonna do. And by efficiency, do you mean like
Gas.
fuel economy? I'm assuming.
I think
Uh,
I think he's talking about fuel economy.
I'm not. I mean, like it's a t- it. I wouldn't put
It's a
20
per-
psi into this car if I worried about fuel economy.
Right.
it's a performance thing, right? Like a hotter car will use less fuel at idle. No, that's
Yeah.
understandable. But that's not what we're looking at. We're looking for performance, not economy.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let me chime in
Go
real
for it.
second about this topic. So back in the day, I don't know if new cars have them now, but remember EGR valves? They
yes.
recirculate the exhaust gases back into the motor. So what
Nissans
they're
did
trying
that
to
a
do
lot.
is heat. Yeah, they try to heat up the motor so it triggers the catalytic converter for emissions purposes. I think
Right.
newer cars don't have the same system. So I think they want the car to run hotter, quicker for emissions, and that's what we talked about privately, me, you, and Jose the other day about it.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think it's more of an emissions thing.
It is, and we eliminate that when we go to tune. That's like you could increase spark timing at cold start. And that's one thing that I learned recently. Jeff from Evans Performance Academy, he's like, we don't need to do this anymore because a car doesn't have a catalytic converter or whatever. Like that sort of stuff. There's a lot of things that they're being done for emissions reasons. And yeah, pretty sure, Matt. So Matt's got the point. He's like, yeah, fuel economy is not the thing. I'm gonna take this picture down because I think people should get to see us now at this point. I wanted to say thank you to 4-cylinder power unicorn. First of all, your advice, like honestly, I know you meant well, dude, and I know you're not taking it wrong that I didn't take it, but that goes back to it links back to our talk about the head, how we said who's going to be bold enough to not weld their head and try out just a simple head swap without quote unquote doing it right. I think it's going to be you, Jose.
Yeah,
that's something you and Nate would do.
Yeah, if we know it's going to work, if technically it's going to be a non-issue. Yeah, well, we do it right if the time was there and the money was there and it was for a customer car, and we advise them, okay, this is how we do it right, and they have the money. Why not? That's going to get done. But like you said, if we're in the garage, you just want to get a swap done, and we know it's not an issue and it's our car. Absolutely, I'm not going to worry about it. So
yeah, it's something to test, especially if you're a guy like you who has a few engines laying around, who has Nathan to, get out there and, rebuild the head if he has the time. But I want to switch topics because I think we
that's covered.
Covered this one pretty well. I am happy with the result that I got. I feel safer. Like the moment after the first drive, I was like, now I can beat the shit out of this. Like, yeah. Now I want to talk about Hans, dude, because Hans had an interesting week last week, and I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let you tell it, dude. I'm gonna let you tell it because it's hilarious.
Yeah. So I swear, I think all of you guys know. I switched actually went to the gym, went to the gas station. Car wouldn't start back up after I try to fill with gas.
No, what?
So we did a bunch of diagnostics. Called Jose.
Wait, I want to stop you. You got to start at the beginning. Nathan showed up to install something in your car.
Oh no, I'm talking about this is before that. I'm trying to get to the beginning.
I'm sorry.
Why I even switched the pump.
Yeah, Star Wars episode 0. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, so I went to the gas station, car wouldn't start. We did a bunch of diagnostics, actually called Tony, Jose did a bunch of stuff, and then we finally realized either a connection went bad or the DW300 went bad. So Nate, I was like, hey Nate, I'm gonna install the 400 anyways. You want to come up here and install it? He was like, yeah, sure. So we came up and we checked the connection, blah blah. We figured out the 300 pump was dead. So I was like, all right, cool, dead pump. I'm gonna put this new pump in. We installed it. Install doesn't take long. Nate left, test drove it the next day, did some data logs, and in the middle of I was done with my data logs. I did a pull because I wanted to show off to Jose and Barry, like my car's faster, fuck your car, basically type shit. And I recorded it, then the fucking car dies. It just dies. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So the car shuts off. The motor's still running. I didn't notice that until Jose or Nate said something about it. And the motor was still running. So I was like, okay, I rewatched the video. I was like, oh, the motor's still good. No knocking. The motor didn't blow. Car would not start. I'm stuck in the middle of the highway. It's getting cold as shit outside, below freezing. I call the insurance company. They send a tow. I told them, hey, I need a flatbed. They don't send a flatbed. The guy was like, well, our next flatbed service guy is like miles and miles away. He won't be here for another like 4 or 5 hours. So I had to recall the insurance company. They called another tow place. and they're like, all right, we'll be there within an hour. They didn't get there for like another 2-3 hours. It's cold as fuck outside. I'm freezing. Car does not start. So finally they came, towed it. Nathan, I didn't even ask Nate to do this. He volunteered and said, hey, I'm going to come up there tomorrow and we need to get this fixed. So much appreciation to Nate, man. He didn't have to do that. We could have just let the car sit. So he came up, and when we were looking at everything, before he came up, I was looking at the car once it got towed back to the house. The freaking OEM fuse was melted. It was a 15 amp. Deechworks did not include in their instructions that you need to put a 20 amp fuse because the pump draws more current. So I had to find out the hard way. So what Nathan did was he ended up wiring the pump directly to the battery and had its own relay and everything like that. So finally finished that. And like I said, thanks to Nathan, because in the span of 3 days, he drove like 24 hours, 12 hours round trip. So thank him big time. But we figured out the issue and I made a video about it. So whoever's trying to look for upgrading the fuel pump to a bigger fuel pump, you got to either upgrade your stock electrical lines to a thicker gauge and switch to a 20 amp fuse, or wire it directly to your battery and have its own relay.
Yeah. That's a nightmare situation there, dude.
Yeah, it's just because there's no information. There's none at all.
Mhm.
So a lot of things that we're doing is we're experimenting, right? When I first installed the kit, I remember Jose was like, hey, let's just try to take it slow. We're experimenting. And I've taken my build setup in steps. I didn't just jump to stock to 450 wheel horsepower. No, went from stock to 350 to 360, 380, 420, now 450. And that's a span of over a year of boosting. So
Yeah,
we're
that's crazy.
experimenting with, we've been experimenting with this motor. Me and Reeses, Barry, been doing a lot of things with it. So, you know, he showed you guys the 1320 path. Now he switched to the 1900. I'm trying to do the 1900 path, but eventually I'm going to do 2300 path.
Thank you, dude. That's a lot of good information, and I don't know if everybody he already knew about that, and but like he said, he's got a YouTube channel. Go check out his video. It's actually pretty cool because you made a video about the install. It was pretty good. Not pretty. It was really good. And like a couple of days later, you're making a video about how the car broke. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a tough one. It like I have AAA. Here's the funny thing. I bought an RX-8, which I thought was gonna die on me at any point because it had high mileage, it was low compression. So when I bought the RX-8, I bought AAA, like the 200-mile tow thing. Because I'm like, this thing, I never used it on that car.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it on this car. So I'm like, it's that kind of thing you have to get you out of a little bit of trouble. But it sucks. They never show up on time.
Mhm.
You know, it's always cold out for some reason.
Yeah. That's the shit part, man. If it was nice, I wouldn't care. But it's cold.
Yeah.
And every time my car's broken down, it's always been the cold. Like when I had my Ford Probe and I used to race it, when I raced and blew my motor, it was in fucking December and it was cold. It was below freezing. And it took 2 to 3 hours for the tow truck to get there.
Yeah.
Same thing, stuck on a highway. So
yeah, Matthew's got a good question. He's making fun of us a little bit here. I like Matthew's comments. He's very mature and very hilarious. He says, okay, so is there anyone rethought their life after they considered how much money they spent with modifying the cars?
on this platform or all cars?
Let's just say this platform. I mean, like,
no, this platform, man. So I looked at it, I calculated it. So if I got a brand new Mustang or a brand new STI, they're close to 40 grand, or a Civic Type R, I spent less money total on the car and all the mods than I would have bought a brand new Charger or STI or whatever. And this car destroys all of them easily. So I personally don't regret anything. This car, out of all the cars I had Evo 10s, Corvettes, S2000s, Cobalt SS, turbocharged, turbo probes. I had SHOs. I have so many different cars. This car has been the funnest car. I don't know why. It just has. It just has. And I don't regret a thing. I love it.
I have thought about it recently, because let's face it, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
It's not $100 or it's not $1,000. You got to multiply that.
Yeah.
By another 2-digit number, maybe. But you got a good point. And I think about it like this. I had a Camaro, brand new out the lot. And, you're starting with a $40,000 car.
Yep.
You want to do suspension on that car? $3,000 for a not really track suspension. Just coilovers that'll drop your car. And so I started from $15,000 if you want to count the car. And like you said, I spent less money than Type R out of the lot money, especially now. Those guys, they want 40, 42, 43. Oh, this is MSRP. Screw that. You're going to pay me $1,000 over MSRP. So no, I'm really very happy with my choice. Do I want to finish? Do I want to be like, this is my finish line? Yes, because there are other things that I want to do. There are other builds that I'm interested in. I'm talking to some friends that I met through this channel, through Instagram. This guy, let's say the Ariel Atom, one of my dream cars. I always hated the fact that I didn't get an Ariel Atom when they first came out, because now they're like $60,000. But I talked to some people, made some friends. They're like, you don't gotta spend 60. There is this specific Ariel Atom out there. So long story short is there are more cars out there I want to mess around with. I don't want to get rid of this one. This one is like, if you watch my previous video of me and my kid working on it, this car is going to him. And he's going to drive that rocket, the orange rocket, to school. I drop him off in school and he's always telling the teachers like, oh, that's the orange rocket. That's the orange rocket. And they're like, oh, hey, yeah, we like the orange rocket. He's like, it's got a supercharger in it. And then they're like, oh, wow, it's got a supercharger. Again, he's 5-6 years old. Well, he'll be 6 in January. And to him, it's like his eyes light up when it's about the car. And like that, to me, I can't put a price on that. Obviously, he'd be happy with whatever because he's a kid. But now he knows what a supercharger is. He can spell radiator. I don't know. It's fun. I've had a good time. It's been a good year. It's been a crazy year. I did a lot more than I expected, I think. Thank you, Jose.
I'm only going to do a 1320 base.
Tell us your story about my supercharger or whatever, my build so far since we
No. That's a different video.
No, we don't have. I don't want to talk about last year because I think I talked about last year a lot, how this whole thing started. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I know it came in late. What did I miss about Andrew? How where's this? Because last I heard, you were not doing a supercharger, right? So you're going.
Yeah, I was going to do the supercharger on the coupe, but then I got a text message from the dude that I used to hang out with. He's my good friend. He's like, "Yo, you want to buy the car? Like, take it away from me." I'm like, "No way, you're lying." He's like, "No." So made it happen, and I wasn't expecting to buy his car. So it was unexpected. So now my direction has changed now towards all motor and just focus on that and just beef up the suspension and at least try to go on the track. And then go from there. And then maybe later on do the supercharger and just work my way up. I don't want to start because I went from like full bolt-ons in my coupe to like a head swap making more power. So it's a whole new ball game for me.
Okay. So that's where you are pretty much.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, don't rush it, dude. I mean, every step has its, like, I miss things about the 1320 But Hans has a point where he says the 1900 is just, it is kind of the perfect blower if you want to be humble and make, I don't know, 350 wheel horsepower, and you don't know where your fix is going to end. Like if you don't know that, okay, if you can't tell yourself I will never want 400 horsepower in my life, then you shouldn't get a 1320.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Because I said that last year. This shit happened.
If I were to do a blower, I'd probably do a 1900 too. But
very versatile. But the 1320 sounds awesome, dude. Especially with a small pulley. Man, it sounds good. Like it's a screamer. This one screams too, man. I got the 3.2 pulley on there.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded really good today, Jose.
Yeah, you haven't spun it yet, so yeah.
Yeah. It was like,
so
it's just like, whoa, shit, this is going. It's taking off.
Does the blowers get quieter in size as you increase in size? Like 2300, is it quiet?
It's a deeper sound, but it is quieter because you're not spinning it as fast.
Yeah.
But when you listen to Tony's blower, he's spinning it pretty quick.
Yeah.
You hear the blower. I mean, his exhaust is pretty loud. So, but when you're in front of it, you could hear that thing going. So,
yeah, I was gonna go 3.0 pulley, but I think I changed my mind. 20 psi, it's enough for now.
Yeah, that's a lot of torque and a lot of power.
Yeah,
Dude, 3.0.
No.
Send it. I'm kidding.
Might as well. You rebuilt the motor.
If I had
but the sleeves are not on there.
it's not sleeved.
Sleeves.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
even
true, that's true.
CSS.
No, E85.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I keep okay. Yeah. You're right.
I'll
you're
run
right.
out of fuel. So
You're
every
right, you're right.
build has its limits. Like
Yeah.
right now, I checked my duty cycle is at like 44 for the injectors. So there's plenty of injector left, but there's not enough octane to really go above 20 psi.
Yeah, you're right.
And talking about that, we'll talk about octane now.
Uh-oh.
You know, I can segue a lot today, dude. We haven't done this in a while. A lot of shit's happened. Oh, Daxter. Yeah, Daxter. He said, I heard the 2300 can destroy M factory gear sets. It probably could.
Don't tell me that.
No, M factory gear sets. You don't have
I know,
them.
but Gear X and M Factory is same. They're from the same manufacturer.
Yeah.
So that's not good news for me.
Well, you may have to look at PPG, dude. I tell you what, if I did another gear set, it would be PPG. I like their ratio. I think it's a little bit. It's something between mine and yours.
Yeah, and they're a lot stronger.
Yeah, they're fat.
Yeah, they're double the price too.
Yeah. I know. That's why I didn't do it. And they don't make a fit. They don't have a fifth gear, not that I know of.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah, the gear set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were we? Oh, octane. I got hooked up with some M soil stuff. This is not. I'm a dealer. So is Hans. I actually don't use this very much to sell stuff. You can buy M soil from pretty much anywhere. But if you want to hit me up, you want to buy some stuff, let me know. I'll try to get you a good price. I don't make a living on it, so I don't care if you don't. I don't. But they make all kinds of stuff, man. They make stuff for your lawnmower if you want it. But I was looking at their octane boosters. They're a good company. I think they listen to crazy people like us when it comes to, I use their oil for sure. I use their oil for my engine. They have octane booster. They have two different types. One that is not meant for legal road use. It's not legal to use, or you shouldn't use it because it can destroy catalytic converters pretty quickly. I don't have one, so I'm like, big deal. Daxter, you're my boy, man. Good looking out. Daxter wants to buy M soil from me. What else happened there? So yeah, I started messing around with Octane Booster because of the boost, the PSI. You know that 93 octane, as good as it is, I know some people in California can't get it. It's still very unstable. It doesn't perform the same year round. This is why I ran. What did I run? I ran race gas at the track, not for more power, but for safety, right? You don't want knock. It reduces knock, all that kind of stuff. So Octane Booster has been good. We're testing it. We're still testing it. It's my second fill up. The car's doing well. I think there's less trimming being done on the fuel side, Jose. Less knocking, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a cat, give it a shot. I'll send you a bottle. I don't know. Andrew, you want some? You want some?
Yeah, I got no catalytic converter.
He's got. Oh, no, dude, he's got E85.
I'm on E85.
Nice.
He has the 85. Yeah, he's good.
The corn juice.
But I'm going to go back to 93 when I get retuned.
Yeah, why are you going back to 93?
It's just not practical going on E85 on all motor. You only gain like 10 horsepower. That's all you do. That's all you get.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's just, there's only one gas station in my town that does E85, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole bunch of gas stations that do E85 here. They used to be like 2 years ago, but they went all to diesel. So.
That's BS.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. There's more trucks down here and all that stuff.
All right. So, Andrew, this is your first time on the live stream, man. What do you think? You feeling good?
Yeah, I was a little nervous at first, but I had some water, so I'm pretty good right now. But yeah, I've never been on a live stream before or any type of video. I've always taken pictures of the car and all that stuff, and never done anything like video streaming type of stuff.
If you don't follow him on Instagram, you should. There's some hilarious pictures of him shirtless on the hood of his car. Hilarious. Like, you remind me of this guy, The Machine. You ever heard of The Machine?
The Machine.
He's a comedian.
Oh, about the Russian story?
Yeah, he always does his shows shirtless. He starts the comedy show. He's like, wow. And he's not like in shape, and he just doesn't give a damn. He's just like, just like that. I'm comfortable in my own skin.
My old Instagram used to be called Majestic Andy because I used to do like shirtless poses on people's cars and stuff like that.
Wow. So much. Ooh. People are still telling me that I'm going to have my hands full of M Factory gears. We'll see. We'll find out.
Wait, what are they saying?
That I'm going to have my hands full of M Factory gears.
Why?
Like they're going to shred.
Yeah, some guy at the meet was telling me about. I went to some meet during the summer, and when I was switching gears, he was like, "Oh, what gears do you go with?" And I told him Gear X, and he was like, "Oh man, I heard they're trash, just like M Factory, because they're the same." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I don't know, we'll see, I guess." I mean, I didn't want to spend $3-4 grand on PPGs, so I don't know, we'll see, or Albans.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think
they've been good so far.
Yeah, you've been ripping on them. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Just like all this stuff, you got to try what works for you. For me, the M Factory was the gear ratio that really sold me on it, and the fact that it was 5 gears and not 4. I mean, yeah, you could buy only 4 if you want to save. I think it saves you $400. And I don't know, like everyone has their connect. If you buy from one place or another, Cycle Speed's really good at getting people good prices. I don't think I got a bad price. So, would I be mad if I broke my transmission again? Jose, how many transmissions did you break?
I have a bucket full of transmissions, gear sets. I have destroyed the entire gear set. I have destroyed the casing. I have destroyed first gear. I've destroyed second gear. I've sheared completely off fourth gear. I'm just accelerating. Then after that, I said I've had it, and I went PPG. It was just costing me too much money to have a cheap transmission. It was easy for me to do the work, but the downtime was insane.
Yeah.
You lose your event. You spend $1,000 going to a race event. Travel, hotel, event costs. Get there, you accelerate in the first pull, and you're done. And now there goes the weekend. So not worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we'll see, guys. I thought I might do an extra transmission just to have it around. I really want to try the PPG gear set, and it's just a transmission swap at that point. Transmission out, transmission in, or just have the gear set ready. Either one. I had a good time building that transmission with you, Jose, when we did it. It's the first time I did. I know people say it's easy, but it's always good to have a friend like helping out. Andrew,
Yes.
how much of your work do you do? Like, how far have you gotten into the Honda? Either one. Do you do a clutch?
Yeah, I've done a clutch replacement. I've done it on my coupe once. I did it on my friend twice. I want to replace the clutch on the white car because it's got a stage 5 action clutch, Ironman clutch, unsprung, lightweight flywheel, which is, to me, in my opinion, too aggressive for that setup. And I've been doing a lot of researching and stuff like that. And I have the Exidi Stage 1 on my coupe, and I love it. And there's people running that type of horsepower, 284, 300 all motor, and they're running like the Exidi Stage 1. So I'm going to go with the Exidi Stage 1, but I've done that on my coupe. I did valve seals replacement. They were leaking from the factory, so I didn't want to go through warranty, so I replaced them and put Supertech ones. That was pretty big. Helped my friend build his motor for his turbo setup on his night gen. Wasn't there the whole time, but I was there a little bit of the ways. What else? Just pretty much simple installs, like coilovers. Apparently, I'm like the suspension king when it comes to installing suspension for the night gen. So,
yeah, well, that's cool, man. So you're not shy about getting your hands in there and stuff like that.
No, like, to be honest with you, I want to like, if something were to go wrong, say with the engine, God forbid, on the white car, I'll just take it apart. Since now I have a daily, I'm not worried about not having a car. That's why I was worried about doing a lot of work on my coupe, because it would prevent me from going to work and stuff like that. So,
gotcha. That's
so
crazy.
In a way, I'm glad I got another car, because that's my main project car right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is wise to have a backup for sure.
Yeah.
Just having one car, no way.
Yeah.
Jose, I thought about. I mean, I always do. I look at the Audi that you have. It's a great backup car. The way you guys use it, you travel all over the country, all over the East Coast, visiting people. It's not really much of a money pit. It's not like you're building transmission and motor or whatever.
Man, that car. Yeah, the way you saw it, I mean, that car is literally tires and a tune and a pulley. That was it.
Yeah, and that car takes off.
Stupid, yeah. So
yeah, I was
great for the snow. Yeah. What was that?
I was like the Audi. I always did. I just I think a lot of people label your Audi as the reliable Audi because they weren't for such a long time. And it's funny that it's the only supercharged one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions. Jose, you're going to catch up with everybody?
I'm trying to. I'm reading slowly, but man, and then some of it is pretty much hard to answer because it just mixes together. But
yeah, it's all good. Do what you can. But yeah, let's see. What are your plans, Andrew, for the following year, man? What you said you're going to change the clutch out.
Yeah, I want to get the full exhaust done. I already got all the components from Stainless Bros.
Okay.
Have my fab guy do it. It's going to have pie cuts. He told me to go with pie cuts because it'll be easier to fab up, but it's going to be a lot of welding. But I kind of want the exhaust tied up to the chassis. I got 94 urethane motor mounts from Hassport, and I'm going to do torque solution exhaust mounts too. So I'm going to have that exhaust tied up against the chassis. I did research on the headers. It's got the Skunk 2 Alpha header. According to everybody says that it flows a lot better. I was going to get the PLM K-Swap K20 header, but I heard that it doesn't flow as well, but it fits better. But with the Skunk 2, it touches the rack, the steering rack, so you have to kind of bang it up a little bit on the header. So what I heard was just put like a little bit of spacers on the subframe. It's kind of like bring it down a little bit so it can actually clear the exhaust without, messing up the integrity of the header, banging it up. So because on the heat shield on the steering rack, there's like a little bolt, and you got to notch that bolt, the mounting bolt off, and then it clears, but you still have to hit the header. But best thing to do is just space it out with probably some like fender washers or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to mess with the header. I'm just
Does it
going to
rattle?
Huh?
Does it rattle much? Like,
It doesn't rattle. I don't hear it rattle. I mean, the whole car is noisy. It's hollow. It's got no interior. It's got a roll cage, half cage on it. So you hear everything. The engine's loud. It's got stage 3 cams. But all in all, I mean, I don't hear any like metal tinging or nothing like that. So the guy that did the head swap, he banged it enough to where it clears by like 1/4 of an inch from the steering rack. So
plenty of room for now.
no, yeah, it's fine. But when I get the exhaust, I'm going to do that. I'm going to reinforce the cage, half cage, because just bolt it to the floorboard. I want to weld it to the frame. And then the spoiler, I want to do a reinforcement as well. Do some chromoly rods and kind of do hood pin style on the bases of the of the spoiler, so it won't have a lot of flexing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. The car, just a retune 93 pump gas, and then do a fully ported RBC on it, and hopefully make about maybe the same power I am right now on 93 pump gas. I don't know.
Yeah. But you're set on keeping that. I know we like boost. You're set on keeping that thing NA.
For now, NA for now. And then we'll see what happens, and maybe I can put a blower in there. The engine bay is pretty hollow, so it's got a wire tuck and everything. It's sort of a wire tuck, but
I want to put another picture of the engine bay on there because some people are joining us that haven't seen the car. I think it looks great. Obviously, your photographer is really good. Good photographer can make up for a lot of shady stuff. But still, it's a really good looking engine bay. I thought.
Yeah. So it's got the K-Tune double stack throttle body spacer. I guess they don't make that anymore, what I've heard. But it whistles, man. It sounds like it's on boost. Like when I get on it, it sucks in a lot of air, and it whistles really loud, and it scares a lot of people. But when the VTEC hits, it sounds so nice. It's really loud.
Yeah.
Do you have any videos out there of like, hitting VTEC?
I do not right now. I need to get a GoPro. The previous owner has a bunch of videos of him driving it when he used to have it.
Yeah.
Getting on it, and those are on his Instagram. But I'll do some videos. My friend just bought like a couple of GoPros, so I'll borrow one of his GoPros and just do a rip.
Yeah.
So, and then send it to you.
Here's another picture of the car. Jose, the bumper's cut out. I don't know if you noticed this before.
Oh, I noticed it earlier. Yeah. Reminded me of the Miata guys that like to do that. What caught my attention was the fender cut. That was neat. The front fenders.
Oh yeah,
I
that nice.
I always liked that. I always dreamed of having my race car have that, but follow all the way through the door with custom doors. Like cut the door, cut the that whole area, and just do a whole nice butt should work and all that. I just so it flows nicely, so it's not so short. I think it'll look badass. So
That'd be pretty cool.
dreams.
Yeah.
If I had time, I would have done it already. It is very doable. It looks so cool. But
yeah,
I think the side view mirrors are badass too.
yeah.
they're
The ARP side mirrors.
yeah. You don't even see them.
There's a good.
Oh
That's
shit! I didn't even notice it till now.
Yeah.
Holy
They're tiny.
Yeah, it's got like those custom it's got rubber urethane base plates to mimic the shape of the old mounting hole in there. So yeah, those are universal. So he put them on there. So I pretty much bought the car as is, and then I did a little slight modification to the splitter and put some actual stainless hardware on the fenders, on the fender flares. Relocated the gauges to the AC vents. I bought them from Etsy. It's got no AC in the car, so why not? So it's got a tuner view dash on there, so it almost looks like the AEM dash, but it's pretty nice. It's $700. I mean, it's really nice. It does RPM. It's touch screen. You could put your AFR, but I already have an AFR gauge. It's already tapped into that. But
what is the thing you have, the catch can? Someone mentioned it. What is it?
It's apparently it's from Exion Industries. He bought them.
Oh, okay.
From the company. He mounted it on the base plate where the old original fuel connectors were.
Okay.
But yeah, it's functional. I haven't checked to see if there's any blow by in there, but it helps with ventilation of the head, I'm assuming.
big time.
Yeah. So with that head, it's a high flowing head. It builds a lot of pressure.
Gotcha.
But what else about the car? That's pretty much it. I mean, it's
what ECU are you running?
Stock ECU. What are you talking about?
You using
the
Flash
you're
Pro.
using Flash Pro?
Yeah, I'm using Flash Pro. Yeah, it's got Flash Pro.
Okay.
It's a nice car, man. I mean, the guy did a really good job building, and I think you're taking it like just a little bit further, so that it matches you.
Yes.
And your style. Now, that's like buying a house.
Yeah.
They may have to put like granite countertops, but you like butcher block, so you're gonna go and remove this expensive ass countertop and put what you like on it.
What is your suspension and brake system?
It's got Godspeed Monomax one ways. I just put Swift springs on there this past weekend. I did 10K in the front, 14K in the rear, which is the standard spring rate. It's got Brembo calipers, TL Type S in the front, and I use the Aerogenics TL Type S rotor and the spacer hub from Aerogenics. And it's already got ARP extended studs. So it's got the correct rotor and to go with the correct brakes. And then the rears, I got to upgrade them. They're slotted and drilled in the rear. When I bought the car, I want to put Stop Tech flat face rotors and just get new pads. That's pretty much it. It's got stainless steel braided lines all around. It brakes great, even with the TL Type S rotors. The brake pedal is actually pretty firm. And because I had them on S2K rotors, and I noticed the brake pedal was very spongy. Even though I bled them correctly, but when I put the correct rotors, it started to brake a lot better. So
yeah, Yeah, I remember you were like, dude, what am I doing wrong to bleed and stuff like that. But you know, we didn't finish talking about that. And you know, I guess the rotors were the answer there, dude.
Yeah, and I bled them manually, the one person method, and it helps out really well. I don't like the air bleeder anymore. That's dead technology to me now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it either. I feel like I spend way more time than like just getting a buddy saying, you know, pump it 3 times, stop, you know, and like I actually have one that you hook up to an air compressor, but it's just so annoying because it pulls so much air, but it doesn't really actually pull the same amount of, you know, brake fluid through. So it's really slow. And I remember once it took me like an hour and a half to bleed a car with an air compressor. And I'm like, why is it taking longer? With
Is
Yeah.
power?
is it pushing the fluid or pulling it?
It's pulling it. So it's
That's
using
what.
air. So,
It's-
sorry, people are
They
probably like,
suck. No, they suck. You know, the best bleeder system that I've seen so far is the one. I was doing a track event with the Audi, and I didn't have race fluid on the car, and they hook up this machine to the reservoir, to the cap,
Mhm.
and it forces the fluid through the cap to the bleeder. That way, you're not sucking air through the treads.
Yeah, so it pretty much improves the gravity bleed.
Right.
Right.
That was really nice, but that was expensive or whatever they were using.
yeah,
You could tell it was high quality. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, you're right, guys. Those vacuum bleeders suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt is asking, did you change the brake master cylinder or has it been changed?
Hey, Nathan.
No, it's OEM
Yeah.
stock brake master cylinder.
Oh, okay. Do you want to join? I've been watching. Join? So we'll get on the group.
Hey
It's a
guys,
free
I'm gonna have to roll out.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
Send you the link.
Good luck.
We might pick up
with
Nathan.
everything.
All right, man.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Barry's expecting you, Nathan.
Thanks for
All right, Hans. It was
showing
nice
up,
meeting you,
dude.
man.
Thanks for the story.
All right,
That was
guys.
great.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Adios.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, man.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, Hans is. I hope he comes up in January. He's been talking about coming up to for the Dyno Tune with Jeff. Can we talk about tuning a little bit since we're talking about tuning, Jose?
Yeah.
Jose?
Yeah, man.
Jose?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear?
Are you there? Can you hear me?
4-cylinder unicorn says he loves Swiss springs. Yeah, I agree, man. I went a little bit overkill because not a little bit. It's all right. I like driving my car, man. You, Andrew, you stuck with like the spring rate that comes with Progress, but you said they were better. The Swiss springs were definitely better than this.
Yeah. The ride is a lot more comfortable. It's not as harsh and bumpy like the regular springs it comes with the coilovers. It's like driving a Cadillac because the suspension was so stiff. And then when I put the Swift springs and then I did the preload correctly, and then yeah, those are really harsh. And then when I readjust the suspension, it's like I'm so used to the car having a stiff setup. Now it just feels like it's a Cadillac. Like it drives like a Lincoln. So it's like riding on a cloud, but it still handles the bumps pretty well. And the cornering is a little bit better. So I'm going to tweak up the rear a little bit. It's kind of sagging in the back a little bit, but I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. And I just felt, I mean, this is the rear. The front ones, I could actually like wiggle them with my bare hands, which was kind of silly. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Ugly sweatshirt day.
Mama. Got a scarf.
That's
Is that a camel?
It's a llama.
Oh, it's a llama.
Christmas llama. So yeah, tuning. I recently been obsessed with tuning because it's expensive, especially if you rent a dyno and you go to the dyno tuner, and you're actually paying for knowledge mostly because they know what they're doing. But I signed up for Evans Performance Academy, or EPA for short, if you
Nice.
are into acronyms. I've had a great time watching them. This week I've been a little bit busy. I don't think I made a lot of time, but I think I binge watched 2 live dyno tuning sessions. And I also watched some of his beginner videos. I think the beginner videos were not where I am today, but if you told me that this video would have been available 12 years ago when I started messing around with like K-Pro and stuff like that, that's right up. That would have been right up my alley. And you know, you don't need to be. You don't need to understand engines and every little intricate thing to get something from his classes. But I'm very happy that I took this course because it's the one thing that I'm like, I'll leave it up to the tuner. I'll leave it up to the tuner, but I can't do that anymore. We have drastic weather changes here. That alone will make you want to like at least understand how to adjust your fuel. Jose, you kind of taught yourself a lot, and you've been helping me like mostly stop myself from messing around with stuff already. Because like the moment I changed the radiator, I was like, I'm gonna change this, and you're like, don't touch it.
No.
Don't touch it.
Hands off.
There's a setting in Flash Pro. I'll show you. Why don't I do this? I'll show you.
There you go.
Show and tell again. Yeah, do I have Flash Pro open? I do. I actually have my pull from earlier, Jose. My wide open throttle, 7,000 RPM pull.
First time.
First time in a long time. First time, long time. First time, long time. You ever hear that?
It's been so long, you're like a virgin all over again.
Yeah. Nathan's here. So Flash Pro calibration.
And this is just a base tune just to get you by, right? So before you get tuned. So yeah, for the people that know how to tune, don't get all too picky about this.
Yeah, this is not a real tune. So there are compensations for a lot of things. What's it? Ignition. Did I change it? Please don't tell me I changed it. Oh, this is an old tune. This is my actual like 1320 tune. There we go. My computer is seeing the limits of what it can do. I need to build something.
Buy a used Mac. There you go. Just kidding. Now it looks like you left it alone, so that's fine. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Water temperature. Yep.
Water temperature, fuel compensation high. So you can do one of two things. I could change this to a different number or set it to something specific or just adjust. I could set this value to let's see, whatever. Let's say I wanted to set it to something closer to 179, 150. And this is something that I will let Jeff decide what to do here because he actually understands this a lot, understands engines, he understands all this stuff much better. And I think I'll get a chance to learn something because sometimes it's better to do it that way. So I was ready to change this setting to 0 because this was at 143, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at 143, it was removing 1% fuel and nothing at 179. I'm rarely hitting 179 now while driving in the cold. So I was tempted to say, don't remove any fuel at 143. I just want it to be regular. And that's when I was like, Jose, let's do this. And he's like, no, don't do that. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
And that's like a bit of a temptation. They're like, oh, I've already watched this. I can start messing around. I think I still have a few more lessons to get through before I do that. The one thing I changed for sure, and you changed it back, Jose, thanks very much. I changed this to like 187 and this to 184. Because I don't want to wait till it gets near 200 for the fans to kick on.
I didn't change it back. You know what happens? I remember I have a base version, so you change it and then I send you a new file. It's going to overwrite.
Yeah, I know. We didn't talk about that, and that's
Yeah.
that's fine.
That make me feel bad online, bro. I'm gonna cry.
No, I know. Let's say Cameron needed to meet up. Okay, we have a few questions here, and we need to catch up. Nathan, say hi before we get into questions.
Hello.
Hi.
Who are you and what do you do?
I am Nathan. I'm probably known as Nathan Merc Racing on Facebook and maybe on Instagram. I don't remember if I changed it.
You did.
I work with Jose on a bunch of stuff for Merc Racing. I'm also his son. Maybe that's a little bit more important.
You should have started there, dude.
So yeah, usually we had hands beforehand before I got on. I do installations for most of the stuff that ends up making it home. I do a lot of R&D with Jose, work over stuff with design, a little bit of CAD work here and there, but mostly just here as backup for him sometimes.
Pick up the trash, mow the lawn.
Yeah, pick up the trash, mow the lawn, do my alignment, small stuff like that. But so right now, what I'm currently doing is doing the build on his EP3, and so that's hopefully coming together pretty well. So I'm pretty excited for that, and definitely a lot of interesting stuff coming out of her garage pretty recently. So I'm definitely excited.
We should do a review on that, Barry. A separate video. Like I said, that build is pretty insane. I keep forgetting about. I take it for granted how much work he's put on that car, and how much people out there can learn from it too. Because a lot of the stuff that we're doing, people are asking me questions on, and there's nothing out there, especially being supercharged. And anyway, go ahead, Nathan.
That's basically my synopsis, but
did anybody here ever watch Game of Thrones?
No,
not really.
I didn't have time to watch Game of Thrones.
Damn it, dude. This is gonna get lost on you. But there's this one character. She's a young queen, and she's like supposed to take over the whole place. And she's supposed to have someone introduce her, and the intro is like Daenerys Targaryen, queen of this, free of the slaves, and this goes on for on and on and on. So you just reminded me of Daenerys Targaryen for every.
Well, I don't know how you're nuts, man.
I could pop a video. I will. This is fun. This is fun.
Yes, the screen share.
we're taking. This sucks. Whatever. Maybe another time, because I don't think the sound is coming through today from the screen share. But let's get back to the data log. And for everyone watching this, don't get scared. There is knocking and stuff like that. It's all within reason. This was one poll. This log, I took it after like a 45-minute drive in traffic, stop and go stuff. So everyone here who has an iGen knows about fake knock or ghost knock or whatever. Andrew, do you still get ghost knock with the K20 head?
I haven't really checked it. I haven't plugged in the Flash Pro to do a data log, which I got to do so I can share it to you so you can actually check it out.
Yeah.
I totally forgot, but tomorrow it's going to be raining, so I won't be able to do it tomorrow. But I haven't checked it because the tuner view on the dash is connected to OBD2 as well. So I got to get like a splitter or something like that, but I got to disconnect that to plug in the OBD2 for the Flash Pro to do a data log. But I haven't checked late.
Okay, I'm just switching out my camera. Can you guys just talk for 2 seconds?
All right.
Amongst yourselves.
So,
whatever.
You guys come here often, or?
Thanks, mate. Now my battery was dying. Um. So yeah, I drive around with that thing on. Like I have my old iPhone 10. It's it's hooked up Bluetooth, and that's basically I drive around with that. I charge it only for keeping information up. Um, like I was obsessed. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see a picture of where I keep it, and I'm obsessed with the temperatures and with the fuel trim. So I'll switch between pages, and I'm like, let's see what the car is doing now. Like how much fuel is it removing? Is it adding? Um, so I don't know. I keep that stuff around, and obviously we've been data logging forever. I think I have a responsibility to keep that thing up there now. So I'll say you've been eyeballing the screen, haven't you, with the Flash Pro?
I
Wow, look at
have.
those. Look at
I
those
actually,
EC.
I have no. Actually, I was typing a message to Matthew here real quick. I'm sorry.
No, do what you got to do. Uh, so as you can see, it's 15 psi at 4,000 RPM, 444 something. Yeah, wow. It goes from like 12 at par throttle. That's crazy, dude. I haven't really like eyeballed this one too much. I haven't really had the chance to
Yeah,
look
let's
at
see.
it.
Let's see it again. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so here's how it went. And I'm sorry, this acceleration line is not perfect. There was a bump on the road, so then I was like, I'm gonna floor it here, and then I was like, no, wait a minute, hold on, floor it here. So that's what happened.
Mhm.
So we do started with 12 count to knock, and
Yeah, a lot of that has been transition knocks, though.
it's transition stuff.
Yeah.
So here I am at when I'm getting ready to floor again, half throttle, and I step into it gradually, and we start seeing some knock. Transition is no big deal because cams switching around. This I do think when the blower starts to spin up, it triggers the sensor. It's very common on any style on the other roots blowers too. But 15 psi at 4,000 RPM. We do see it like this is too lean right here. 12, not a lot, not a lot, but we're commending 11.8. I think we should be commending 11.4. I don't know. And the boost seems to like just it goes up all the way to the end to what? Almost 20 psi.
Mhm.
Let's say 20 psi at 7,000 RPM.
Well, let me see. Go to the middle of that to 25 seconds. Okay, good. So the ignition is staying consistent, but it starts at 4,900 RPM at 7 ignition. Okay, I'm just curious about that. Yeah,
I'm surprised the ECTs were so low.
they're nice.
Yeah,
That's what I would expect.
yeah, because I guess I think
Because your car is moving. What was your speed at that moment?
I think I got to 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean you got a lot of airflow going through, and it's cold out.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty. It started to get chilly out, like,
Mhm.
but like I said, some of the stuff I still don't. I understand it. I don't think I understand the big picture enough to say let's change this. I've been tempted to drop the cam angle a little bit. I don't think we have to. I think what we have here is the injector dead times might not be perfect. That's one, and there's still a lot of fuel in some spots, and not enough fuel in some spots. Like look at the difference here.
Yeah, this time you've been doing 5,000 RPMs. So this will be the first time you went that high.
This is the first time we went balls to the wall. Yeah, so it gets really very rich up top, and we haven't been up here.
Mm-mm.
But I am really happy, dude. This felt insane, like scary. But I'll get used to it.
At 10 degrees ignition. Haha.
Yeah. We're not even there yet. Boosted weather. So yeah, I hope this stuff is not too boring to a lot of people, but I'm pretty excited about it um, because it's like the last piece of the puzzle. Something I wanted to learn. Nathan, you've been messing around with some of your ECU stuff lately, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm getting away from K Pro for the first time. So
Scary.
well, I guess not the first time because I had my Miata for a little bit. Went turbo, then supercharger, and then now I'm going K. So I'm currently doing some fabrication and stuff on that. So mostly just getting fittings and stuff around. And I guess first things first is that I really want to finish my dad's car beforehand because his car is basically done. It just needs assembly. But as far as ECU goes, I know we had a question from Matthew Fuller, asking about like the benefits of going full standalone versus like a K Pro or a Flash Pro. Obviously, Flash Pro is going to be a lot harder to implement because you have whole CAN networks and stuff like that, which basically your ECU needs to talk to your body control module, and your body control module needs to talk to your radio, and everything's aligned through like VIN numbers and whatever. But nowadays, since computers are getting so much better, we're finally having the opportunity to like cheat those systems. But like in my car, like anything RSX, what would it be like 2006 and back, 2005, would be able to use full standalone without having any issues aside from you're not going to have OBD2 anymore. And even then there's like ways to get past that. But the biggest benefit to having like a full standalone is just like the controllers in your standalone are going to be twice as good, if not more, than what your stock ECU is capable of, right? So I guess the basic way to put it is would be like your clarity or sample rate of like you're doing data log, right? And sometimes you're looking at your boost pressure and it spikes a little bit in between its little, you saw it when you were looking at like your TPS reading. It would just go up and jumps across your thing. The fidelity of how many sample rates you would have is a lot higher on a lot of these aftermarket ECUs. Actually, I think I have the one that I'm using in my car pretty close by. Oh, it's this one. I got a, let's see if I can get it. It's a ECU Master Black. It's about the size of a cell phone. So it's let's see if I can get it. You can sort of see size comparison. It's about the size of a Galaxy Note. But
Then I was trying to pull something up.
oh yeah, if you could pull up like a link or something, that'd be perfect.
No, I was distracted by something. I was trying to segue into the next subject, but just put it up on the screen again. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, let me see. This guy here.
Wow, dude.
Friggin' tiny. It's about the size of the board that you add on like a K Pro or something like that.
Yeah.
But this thing does full up to 6 cylinders, full sequential injection. You got fuel control, ignition control, cam angle, VVT, all the garbage that you have for Supra VVT and Vanos and all that stuff. And half of it's already pre-programmed, and it's definitely very impressive because you have the opportunity to run as many sensors as you want for some of these. And so now if you want pre and post boost, pre and post temperature, pressure, you could have it control your fuel pump if you want to add another module for something to control your body, or I say the body, but like the chassis of the car, so all your brake lights and stuff. That's another ECU. They call it like a PMU or PMW. But that can control basically every circuit in your car. Now that's not what I'm doing with mine. Mine is strictly like engine and possibly transmission control if I ever go automatic, which I don't plan to, but it's available. But basically you can either make your own harness, or I believe all the older K series stuff has adapter harnesses and everything available. But definitely something I haven't messed around. I haven't gotten to the tuning software yet, or I haven't actually had it on a running car yet. But I'm definitely excited to see the capabilities because it blows the possibilities of like K Tuner and all that stuff, or even K Pro, which in my opinion is a little bit more. Uh, you're able to play with it a little bit more than you can on like just Flash Pro because we know we have limitations on Flash Pro for some things, but
Yeah.
but
And are you
nowadays we got workarounds.
Are you able to
Right.
do tire temperature sensors on this one and things like that, or wait, I'm thinking about something else?
No, yeah, you can run tire temperature sensors. I believe they actually sell them on their website. Now, if you're willing to put $400-300 sensors on your car, then yeah, go for it. But but it has the capability, right? So
Wow.
everything that you can either set it up to like a CAN network controller. So like in my use case, I'm gonna set up all my buttons or like my AC controls and stuff like that. Anything that you have to use like any external input to the ECU from like
The dash.
you have to have like dashboard, any switch gear that you have to like tell the car, cruise control, power steering. Sometimes has switches for some applications, but that all goes through a little controller, and then that controller literally has 2 wires going off of it to the ECU.
Nice.
So you save space that way. But as far as like the 8th gen goes, you have the opportunity to use CAN network or the controller that it has inside of it to almost trick the CAN network in the 8th gen to make it happy. Give it information for the dash or fuel gauges,
Yeah.
or to keep traction control happy. I know this unit already has stuff for like RX-8, which that was a big deal for a little bit. So if you're ever doing like rotary stuff, that's pre-programmed. But all it takes is the ECU and another unit to like figure out what those signals are, and depending on what information is available out there, you can find that. But I'm sure we're probably not even a year away from having people just going full standalone on 8th and 9th gens and just really simplifying that setup for each other. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are already doing Motec.
It would be nice. I have a big gripe with Flash Pro, and I think I can't blame Flash Pro. There's another entity out there that's making it more difficult, right? Um, I was telling, I don't know if you were here for the conversation earlier. I was watching some of the live tune videos, and I watched the live tune video of a 9th gen, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah, I can find everything. And then I don't think he had a supercharged 9th gen, but I watched a supercharged 8th gen tune. I'm like, this has to be basically the same. Yeah, there's some differences that I already know about, but you can modify the sensitivity of the knock sensor on an 8th gen.
Yeah.
You can't do it on the 9th gen.
Yeah, that's actually. Oh, you can't do it on the 9th gen.
We don't have the sense, and the science behind it. It's pretty. It's pretty smart if you ask me. I saw Jeff do it on the video, and basically he set the car to the 0 cam angle, and he ran like almost no ignition. I mean, he actually ran 0 ignition on these pulls, and if he saw knock, he'd be like, "That's not knock, that's noise. Some other noise is picking up."
Yeah.
And let's make it 50% less sensitive, and run it again. Eventually, until there was a happy zone. He didn't zero them out, but it makes sense. There's no way there's knock there, so that's noise. And then you can say, okay, let's tune and still have true knock information.
Yeah.
But that's gone. I wish we had that at least on the 9th gen version of Flash Pro.
And that seems to be a limitation of just the actual, either the factory ECU or what Flash Pro is capable of software wise, because that I've seen the sensor on it, and that looks like the aftermarket Bosch sensor that everybody's running for their standalone stuff, or either Haltech or I'm forgetting the names now, but the other standalone ECUs. You're able to basically set your zero, of what your noise is for that stuff. And where on like Flash Pro, you just get a count. Sometimes you can watch the freaking the sine wave of oh, it's been gotten a little noisy here. It's gotten a little noisy here. There's just so much more depth in like a standalone for these kind of fine tuning options. Right now we have the opportunity on Flash and K-Pro to do traction control, but that was really not an option unless you had a separate box. And even though they managed to get that, and that's amazing, now standalones, you can literally it's integrated into the thing. It's free in a sense.
Yeah.
The ECU that I put up is $1,000, which is one of the cheaper units that are available aside from going like Mega Squirt or something. But for a fully finished unit with really good software and what seems to be a really good support system, I just don't. I can't argue with it too much, especially not for my application.
Yeah. No, it seems like it's already giving you a lot more than like what a K-Pro did or Flash Pro, man. Jose, where are you at?
Me? I'm home.
I'm just trying to keep everybody awake.
No, you're good. I'm looking down because I'm reading in the chat thing. You guys were talking about the K tuner is very difficult to tune if you're a novice, blah blah blah. So I don't know, just kind of catching up with people before you guys finish that thought.
Okay, Andrew, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you mess with your tune at all?
No, I don't do that. I'm not comfortable. I haven't tried it, so I guess I should just. I mean, I want to learn, to be honest. So
yeah, no,
definitely recommend the what Barry's doing.
Yeah, I'm paying $50 a month for that class, and you could buy it out for the year, and I think that's what scares a lot of people. They're like, oh, $550 per the year, but you're saving. But I was like, let me try this, and see if it's for me. It is for me, and dude, I think, dude, you're there. You've done so much with your car. You understand the platform pretty well. If you can get some overtime at work, that pays for the class, do that. I don't know.
Oh, of course, I get overtime with my job.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like if I had to, I would like cancel my Netflix, my Hulu, all that crap. But like, I need to put that on
Disney
hold.
Plus.
Screw the Mandalorian. I need to like how to tune. Yeah.
It's definitely a strong tool to have.
Right.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, you are going to be caught in situations that you will not have a tuner available, and you need to adjust something minor. It would be nice to know those minor things, and at a minimum, just knowing how it all works, and for determining problems in the car. Something's wrong. Let me look at my tune. Okay, it's not doing X. All right. So.
Yeah, and that'd be good knowledge for me to know as well. So
now, because you're planning to track your car,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic diagnostic tool to be able to look at your own maps and know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah. And at least you can tell I think it's this or something, or just learn. I think Jose, that's what forced you to learn.
That's what did it. Yeah. Being at the track. Man, event, the car's running lean or running rich, or it's a cool day and I know I can run a little more power. Okay, you know what? Why don't I just add a little bit more ignition? The car's not knocking, everything is perfect, and it plays out well. Or you're at a drag strip. That's usually where it's very functional. When we ran the 10-second run for Tony, it was nice to be able to just say, okay, you know what? Car's doing great. Let's push it a little. We didn't. There was nothing to worry about because we at least understood the basics to get what we needed for those, that last 1 second of the run. So, yeah.
Okay.
10,000 RPM. That was kind of a joke.
I didn't hear. It didn't come through.
Yeah, 10,000 RPM.
Oh,
yeah. It's to keep you in the power band. That's why.
Yeah. That must have been a really cool day seeing that.
That was a crazy day, man.
Yeah.
The energy that day was insane. But
But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to run a little bit out of steam. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? You're good?
Yeah, I'm running a little bit out of
Good.
steam.
Dude, if you gotta jump out, it's fine. I know tomorrow's a work day for a lot of people. I don't want to keep you here if you don't have to, but like, I want people to know that I'm not the only one. I'm not some brainiac. I reach out to people. I do trade information. There's nothing more powerful than knowledge out there. That is my belief, and I'm grateful that I have really smart people like Nathan, like Jose, and then especially you, Andrew. Like you helped me. Like you were the guy who said, "Oh, ARP head studs don't fit our cars." And I was like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I figured that out because my friend made the same mistake when he was building his engine, and he got ARP studs. I'm like, yo, I think you're supposed to get inline pro. So we figured it out. So that's how I was able to help you on that one.
Yeah, and your inbox is going to fill up a little bit now, but that's okay. You know, there are 11 people watching, so 11 people might be messaging you more and more often now.
Which is fine.
Yeah. No, I like this crew, man. I see a lot of the same people on the chat when we do the live stream. I am going to close it up with one thing, Jose. I think you told me to do this, right? Let's talk about the year and where the build went.
Yeah.
Because it's been a big year. This is probably the most modding I've done to any car in this amount of time.
You bought the car in December, I thought?
No, in October of last year.
October last year. But you didn't get your car until when?
February of this year.
Right. So literally you bought the car, let's say in February, because you really didn't have it. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I got the car in February or January. It really doesn't matter. It's Apple's, it's whatever. And you drove it up for me to Pennsylvania, and my friend drove me to. So we met at Jeff's shop for the dyno tune. Nathan did all of the work by himself. Poor guy, because Jose's like, you figure it out. So Nathan did the clutch.
I know it's cold. Just get to work.
He did the clutch, the fuel pump, the supercharger install, downpipe, and a few other whatever other pieces we needed.
Clutch.
I said clutch already.
Oh, sorry.
The K-tune adapter for the water port in the front because we have a funny looking head. Everything, and I mean like top to bottom, that was him. And so I get the car in February. We have a good time. I feel like I bought a spaceship because this thing is like, I went from driving, I think like the RX-8, and the RX-8 is fun, but it's not a fast car. It doesn't have any torque like that. And I was happy. I was happy with the car, and I think what triggered it was in May. I think you had a track day with your Audi.
That's right.
And I said, I think I got to do a track day with the car and see what it's about. And the car wasn't track ready. It wasn't. So for some reason, I bought a front splitter. That's one of the first things I bought. But I had let's do front splitter. Let's do big brakes. So I did the Willwood 6-piston brake kit. There's a video on the channel of how to install that. It's a pretty cool install, I think, if you have patience and stuff, because it's a 2-piece rotor, so you have to safety wire some stuff together. But that's probably one of the. I needed to do a big brake kit anyways, but again, this all got sped up because I'm gonna sign up for the track day and then I'll get the car ready. So after I got the car, the coilovers, progress coilovers, I hated the springs, so I switched them out for Swift springs. What else is there? What else did I do to the car?
Exhaust. The
Oh
rest
yeah,
of the exhaust, yeah.
I got like 3 different exhausts because I was like, nope, don't like it,
You are notorious for that.
don't like it.
Yeah.
And we'll get to exhaust in a bit. I've been thinking about exhaust this morning, like all day tonight, all day. I almost emailed Schmuck Build before this, but I didn't have enough time to write the email.
Jeez, thank
But I'll
God.
email him.
I get that.
So yeah, I went through 3 different exhausts. The full race, it had a really nice sound at idle and at wide open throttle, but it was really harsh, from stop and go and stuff. Like it just had this just rattle noise. I didn't like it, and I got rid of it. And I ended up with the Q300. It's for me. That's a good exhaust. But again, I'm still like I'm going to change it this year. I don't know. I'll email Schmuck Build because I want something custom, and it will be kind of very different to what people have. I don't
The
want
K series
titanium.
is a hard engine to build a nice exhaust for.
Yeah, yes, but I'm thinking like really go big, like bypass stuff. Like my Camaro had a bypass valve on it.
Yeah.
So especially if I'm not in boost, like why am I so loud? So that's enough about exhaust. What else did I do? Did I do some fun stuff? Oh, yes, I did. You sent me a prototype heat exchanger.
Oh yeah.
That it doesn't fit 8 gens. It fits my car, or we thought it did. We tried it out. It's a bigger heat exchanger, holds more water, and that a lot of this stuff, it's for safety, really, when you think about it. You want the engine to run cool. You don't want it knocking. You want it to stop on time. That sort of stuff. I not only got the brake kit, but I got track pads on top of that, because the original ones they send you, I think they only go up to like 5. They only hold up to like 400-500 degrees. The ones that I got, like they'll hold up to like, for the track, they'll fade at like 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, basically it was all about getting the car ready, and then after the track day, it was all about, I want to go to the track all the time, so let's just build it. And I was still going to stick with the 1320, but you gave me the opportunity to upgrade to the 1900. So I do appreciate that, Jose, a lot. And yeah, and I never looked back. Now, fuel return, fully built motor, built transmission, except for the LSD and the final drive and 6 gear. But yeah, a built transmission. What else did we do when you guys came up?
We did the transmission. We obviously did the engine.
Valve train.
Engine stuff, but the fuel return, ignition. What else we do?
It was a very basic build. I mean, in a
It
sense.
was basic. It was just
Yeah.
it was a lot of big ticket jobs.
Yeah.
That we did.
Yeah.
So it was just multi-day jobs. I mean, we already pulled the engine out beforehand, but is putting engine in, pulling the transmission apart, testing things. I had to file rings and check oil clearances. That takes hours. Oil pump modifications for stuff like that.
Yeah, the oil pump.
I mean, that's a lot of the time is just doing the small mods or making sure stuff fits and cutting stuff to size. The fuel system alone, we sort of scattered it throughout the days, but it was a matter of getting parts, and then we forgot to buy a fitting here and go to the store. And then they're not going to have it until tomorrow, and it's the weekend, so they're not open. And it was definitely, it was very involved, but realistically, we did a very basic thing. We built an engine, put a fuel system in it, and built the transmission. But it is definitely one of those things where it sounds easy, and then you get into all the small things.
And there goes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
And then, that was one thing that was hilarious. Like we were almost done. Everything's built. By the way, I have all this on video. It's just taking me forever to edit all this stuff because there's useful stuff and then there's us like just talking shit for a little bit and not like, you know, I'm not
That's
one of
fun.
these
That's
YouTubers.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but I will put that stuff up at some point. It takes a lot of time to edit some of these videos. Um, let's see what else. So yeah, I remember like we were exhausted by the time it was all sort of almost there, and I couldn't find the bolt for the clutch, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I gotta call the dealer. I gotta find these bolts because I can't find them. I had them all in one place, and because we took the car apart like 3 months earlier, and I had most of the stuff organized, not those. So I ended up like we're like screw it. And for some reason, I was fixed on getting dealer bolts, like OEM Honda bolts. And I think Jose, you were like, dude, just go to Home Depot. They're like M8 1.25. They're just a bolt. I'm like, I know, but I want the Honda ones.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get
As
them. I
long
was
as
like,
they're grade 8, send them in.
so
Yeah.
we did it, and yeah, I haven't lost any sleep over that since. But it's stuff like that, like
The valve lashing.
the
Oh
valve
yeah,
flash.
there's a lot of
That was a
time.
big one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, the valve lashing. Yeah, these valves are not. We didn't do the lashing prior to trying to start the motor. Um,
We didn't
but
realize that there were longer shafts on the.
yeah, the valves are a little bit longer by millimeters, but that's long enough to like not get any compression, and that's why the engine didn't start. Which was frustrating at that point. You're exhausting. You're like, what the hell? I'm like, I'll just go get gas because maybe the gas has been like just shit. So I left and I drove.
You
And
drank.
like, I'm like, I'm like, let me get a whiskey. That was like rum and coke or something. But that was huge. And did I do anything? Yo, it didn't stop right. It didn't stop there, dude. Because look, radiator last weekend.
The fan. The fan.
The fan.
The radiator
the fan
fan.
failed.
Radiator fan. What else have I done since you guys left? Did I do something since you guys left?
A lot of tuning. Is
Oh,
what you did.
the oil. The oil. No, you didn't finish that yet.
You didn't do the oil cooler. Yeah, I was
The
trying to
oil
get the oil
cooler.
cooler set up and then backing out on it
That's a tough one.
later.
But we wasted a lot of time on that
Yeah.
because we thought it would fit somewhere, and it doesn't fit very well.
Yeah.
Custom work. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I still have stuff I gotta put. Aerogenics. They sent me those spacers. They sent it as a sponsorship. I am gonna do a video. I owe it to them. The guy reached out. He's very nice. It's just too cold. I think if anybody watched my latest video was, it's too freaking cold out here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I lived where you guys live. Have you guys heard of the fifth cam tower oiling mod?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of
What
that.
is it? What is it, Nathan?
Haven't heard.
Is you basically take I believe it's where you have the oil pressure sensor currently, and you basically run a little AM line to the top of, oh my God, I think it's through the valve cover, and you actually use it to oil the fifth cam, the cap for the rear cams, because they're basically all the way at the end of the feed cycle for the oil pump. And it's mostly like peace of mind type stuff. And
Sounds really
I don't
cool.
really see it used unless you're in like a really like race application where you're running as thin oil to get as little resistance type of deal, because you're trying to pull out that last half horsepower out of your 500 horsepower NA build. It's definitely an interesting mod, but it's one of those things where I just don't see myself doing it because I have other ways to make power, and I'm not limited by by a class or something like that. But shoot, if you're more than willing to do it, more power to you, definitely. But
Yeah, I
very
did that
interesting.
mod, but it sounds really cool, really interesting. But again, like I don't know which application I need. I feel like my peace of mind lately was the heat this engine makes, and I think I got that under control now.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if the oil cooler is as critical now that I'm running such low ECTs. Um,
Oh, it's good for the track.
Mhm.
it is good for the track. But I'll do it because it's like dumb. It's kind of expensive. I don't forget what I paid for it. But I think I need a different size heat exchanger for
Oh,
that to actually
that
work.
that
Because
that now might be the cool thing. Now you can run a smaller heat exchanger.
yeah, I could.
Yeah, now that you don't have such a hot engine.
In worst case, you can just run caps on your little sandwich plate that you have, and we can test for, let's see what your oil temps already are. Let's see what's
Yeah,
safe, whatever. And then realistically, if you need a lot of cooling, we'll figure out some way to put a bigger heat exchanger. But if you don't really need that much, or you're within stock,
Mhm.
tolerances, why not just put a tiny one? Just
Does
to
it
keep.
have an oil gauge on that oil cooler, Nathan, or no?
It does not have like like a temperature gauge. Yeah, we have temperature and pressure gauge.
Is it
I
is it
believe
working now or?
he needs to install the sandwich plate.
Okay.
So that's
I
all
just
integrated into the sandwich plate. But
and I actually you remember that we were oh man, this is another thing we spent a lot of time on. We were trying to
Sorry,
make
Andrew.
our
We're
own.
just over here chatting away, but
Yeah,
It's
dude.
fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Feel free to like just stop us from talking. Like just say, oh, I got something to say here.
No, this is knowledge for me that I'm listening to.
Okay.
We didn't so I bought a gauge that does both pressure and temperature for oil or water if you want water instead. Um, but we spent a lot of time because we didn't have a splitter coming out of the original pressure sending unit. We spent a lot of time like trying to make our own out of a few brass fittings and whatever. It wouldn't work out. So I ordered that thing finally a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So that I'll at least get like a pressure reading, and I could put the sandwich plate on and cap it, and get my temperature off of that.
I have a thought here for you real quick before we continue. Jorge Garcia just mentioned something here I forgot about. The engine control, the engine temperature needs to remain at a specific point so that VTEC can remain engaged. You
Okay,
don't want to be running too cold and then VTEC disengages and you're a high boost.
I agree.
Yeah, that's one thing we gotta know what your operating temps are for your car.
Give me a
Sorry.
sec.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thanks, dude. Thanks for the tip, man. Seriously, this is why we do this.
Mhm.
Let's see. I will tell you if today I fell out of VTEC. No, it stayed in VTEC.
Yeah, you stayed. Yeah.
And
Well, we
those
need to know we need to know what that line is on your car.
those were really low temps. Let's see, VTEC. 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's low. Like
Oh,
I'll
okay.
never
Okay.
be driving under 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nah.
I'll show it to the people. I'll show it to them so you
Yeah.
can see where stuff is, because some people may not know what we're talking about here, or what it looks like. I wish I could zoom into stuff. Let's see. Can I zoom in?
Just do full screen and it shows up.
Yeah, they're full screen. So,
I'll be
yeah,
back.
under calibration in your map, it'll tell you minimum coolant temperature. It's 100. Speed, you can set it to set up. Wow, why would you want to engage at 6? Okay. And the windows. There is an interesting way to figure out your VTEC window that requires more advanced knowledge. And obviously, you want the VTEC oil pressure switch enabled, unless you're running some sort of track car where you're like you really don't care, and you have good oil pressure 100% of the time. But I would not turn this off on any street car, period. Even on mine, with a built motor. Yeah, no, thanks for saying that, and at least we know to check that stuff. And if you look here, this is all the sensors. It'll tell this one is your VTEC, so it's on. So I fell out of VTEC when I was like part throttle. Where was I? So I went into VTEC, then I got out because I was part throttle. I wasn't doing much, and that's probably oil pressure related there. And then once I got back on, VTEC stayed on. So you can tell by this blue light. Cool stuff.
His comment's interesting because it's definitely one of those. It's a good application for the sandwich plates that have the thermostat in it, where they don't flow oil through the cooler until it's at a certain temperature. Which is one of those nice things for a street car. Like that would definitely be what I use for a street car. Whereas if you're a race car, you're just full tilt all the time. You need cooling all the time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely one of those use cases that I would definitely go for, like a sandwich plate with the thermostat in it, which are pretty readily available.
But someone else, Matt, he said if I did the spoon rigid collars. No, I did not. I know we talked about that a long time ago, and it may have been forgotten on my end. But yeah, that's where the car's been. It's been a really crazy year. I've never done this much. And about that gauge, I reached out to a guy, Ortiz Custom Gauges. Andrew, you ever heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're actually not far from here. They're in Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Jose, he's a lot like you. He'll make custom gauges for almost any car, handmade.
Nice.
And so he'll buy the OEM dash parts or whatever, cluster covers and stuff, and then he'll cut it out, and really, really good work. And I remember I reached out to him. He's like, dude, this is not going to happen quickly. And I'm like, I know. That's okay. I know people who work like you. And so, yeah, I got the custom gauge. It only has one gauge pod because I have the push start button on my car. But I think I only want the oil pressure at this point. With the Honda stuff, I can see a lot of data that I don't feel like I need to have 20 gauges on the AP pillar.
Right.
The Honda thing is way more useful than that. It's not as quick, maybe, but it's really good to keep track of stuff.
Fast enough.
But yeah, there's still a lot more stuff going on. I think next year I want to focus on aerodynamics and a little bit of looks. I think I'm done with the sleeper look. So, I said I was
orange.
It's orange. Like this morning, there was a Porsche 911 that was trying to race me on the highway. He was having fun, and I'm
man,
like,
that sucks, man. You had everything but the tune.
I'm ready to go, except I can't do it. Sorry, buddy. Sounded nice, but that happens. It's just like, oh, damn it, I can't.
Yeah, me and Nathan today had an encounter like that. It was
a Range Rover of all things.
Range Rover, man. That thing was
blacked out. And I think it was one of those like supercharged models where it just has the freaking crazy horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was keeping up good. Yeah, those are always fun. Actually, dude, I didn't realize it was 10:30 already at night. Almost 10:30. How long have we been here?
Looks
2.5 hours.
How many?
It's 8.
Me and Andrew started at 8.
Holy shit! That's it. It's just that. Did you just break a record today?
I'm trying to remember. I think Chris might have been a little bit longer.
That's true.
We were, but not by much. We're almost getting to. But he had so much information. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good.
I do want to get Jeff Evans on here. We tried in the fall, but he was very busy. I'm going to talk to him in person next month and say, hey, man, do you have time? Let's do this. People want to hear. Like, people have been asking me left and right, like, you got to get him in here. He was ranked like one of the top 20 tuners in the country at one point. I'm pretty sure he made it to top 10. He runs the academy, and I have a lot of respect for him. So I would like to learn as much as I
He
can.
has a
from him.
great story to tell.
Oh, yeah,
It's a great one.
yeah, it
It
is.
goes in line with a lot of what's going on today too, which is I think great information for all of us people in the industry. So
Yeah, yeah. So if you have a catless downpipe, you should save it because you won't be able to find those pretty soon.
yeah.
But anyway, guys, I think we are gonna wrap it up. If I'm more than happy if you want to share more to hang out and keep the party going. Jose, do you want to tell us a little bit about Merc Racing? What are you doing?
Well, since this is the last one for the year, right? We're not
Last
doing
one for
anymore.
the year, dude.
So I'm
Next
gonna end
month.
it with this. Thank you. I know everybody's not here, but as you people watch this later, thank you all for the support this year. This year was the biggest year for Merc Racing. So big that I cannot take any more orders in December, guys. It's um I'm perplexed. I don't even know what word to use. I'm speechless. I did not expect this. And so sorry for all of you guys that's still waiting on things. I am trying really hard. But it just there's a limit, right? Where and I'm not excusing myself, but I know they're listening. Um, where you rush and you screw up and then you're upset, but you're also going to be upset because it took longer. I'd rather you be upset because it took longer than rush, be wrong, have to ship stuff back, or get the wrong part, or missing a pulley, or which has happened already this week. Somebody got it. One person got the wrong blower. One person got their whole kit, no pulley. It's just little things like that. No, when you got 100 things going, and you're dealing with the accountant, and you're dealing with a tax person, because being a business, you run taxes a few times a year, and you still got your daily career, you still got a family, you still got holidays, birthdays, and getting sick. I was sick for a few days, not sick, but injured, and I had to wait 2 days. I couldn't pick up any boxes. Nathan luckily was helping me with that. You gotta, there's a balance. But anyway, biggest year, really thankful. I appreciate all your support. Looking forward to 2021 because we are making big changes, guys. And some of these changes include better stocking with the blowers. Yay! So talking to Harrop, and we're gonna be dealing with them in a large way, where they can help me with the inventory, have things ready to go. Also moving casting to the United States with one of the best companies in the US. And they're going to help me out later in the year to get the process going to be a little more reliable with that. I have enough manifolds now. Thank God I was able to get a good order, but I want to improve even further in the delivery for you guys and be able to be more on time, be more of like a bigger company. So far as you can see, I'm running off the basement, and hopefully in 2021 we can change that as well, where Nathan hopefully becomes one of the first employees. And I don't know, they're just head plans at the moment. They're not in concrete, but it's one of the in my wish list. Have a building, have a warehouse, and improve delivery for everyone. So and much more. I don't have enough time to talk about it here, but just watch for updates, and we'll keep going. We'll try to do better. I know I get a lot of pressure from you guys. Why why doesn't he do this? Why it doesn't do that? Well, I know Merc Racing presents itself as a K-Tune size company, but we're not. We're just still a home business, and I'm glad you see us as that size, but we're not. Um, but we're working through it. So thanks again.
So, dude, Andrew, I know you're running on like an eighth of a tank here. What?
I think it's on you, bro.
Like, it's like, yeah. What do you got for us, dude? What's 2021? Just close it out, dude. You're the special guest.
That's right. Nathan's got to say his too. He's got some cool stuff, man.
Oh yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
to him.
I'm
But I got
just
to
gonna
get in before he passes out.
pretty much I don't know just pretty much in 2021, it's going to be exhaust, retune, suspension, more suspension component works, reinforcing the half cage, the aero is going to be a lot better. That's pretty much it for 2021 for me, and just keep it that way for a minute. And then any improvements is going to be just like force induction, but the only force induction I'm going to do is going to be a blower for Merc Racing. So try that out with a K20 head. It's going to be a screamer.
Oh yeah. Be a blast, man.
Yeah, we're dying to see a Frankenstein 9th gen with a blower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to do it anytime soon. But I'm glad you're not stopping, dude. Do it at your own pace. I mean, like, we're all different, man. Like, I, honestly, like, if I was like loaded and I had all this cash, I'd be like, bro, like, because you've helped me a lot. I'd be like, here's a Merc Racing kit, but I don't have all this money. I have to start saving money again. But again, thank you, man. You've been a great friend from a distance. I didn't know who you were a few months before this whole car shit happened. But thanks, dude. And anyone who's wants to like reach out to me and tell me, hey, you're doing this wrong, feel free. I don't take it the wrong way. Nathan.
Yeah, I actually got big projects that I'm working on. They're coming together slowly, but they're surely coming out. Hopefully I'll have something running by January, but I'm doing a K-swap Miata. And of course, being Merc Racing, it's got to have a blower. So I'm actually using the blower from the orange car from your car, and that's sort of gonna be my beginnings for that, and then eventually go on to doing transmission and rear end and all this other stuff. But right now we're focusing on getting it running. Obviously, we have Jose's car, the EP3, that a couple of people who follow me on Instagram have actually started picking up on it. Running the 2300 on the EP3 with the tiny ass engine bay. Whole lot of cutting. I actually got to post pictures. I'll post them probably later tonight of how much I've had to cut out of the hood, but it's basically just the top skin. Everything looks like the top skin will fit. Obviously, the front latch, just like on the RSX, is gone. That whole front radiator support is gone. For the sake of keeping everything nice and clean, I might cut the headlight support on the passenger side and start running bars. And obviously, we're going to be running hood pins, but now we got to move them. So I'll probably end up using the current hood on the car for mock-up and making sure everything fits, and we'll do our test runs and stuff, and then eventually move on to another hood probably, and start fresh with that. But that thing's going to be insane. It's already built motor, K24, stock K24 head, which might change. We might mess with cams. We really want this car to be like a test bed for, we've been messing around with 1320s and 1900s and a couple 23s for years, but we've never really seen what like the limits of a 1900 are, or at what point what the 23 is even capable of. We got Jeff Fair up north with 600 horsepower on a stock 8th gen engine, or K20. So he's doing 600 horsepower, and it sounds like the blower is not even trying. So who knows what's going to happen, and he's not even built yet. So this thing's transmission. It's eventually probably going to end up having axles. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do with trying to get tire under that thing.
That's going to be my fun part.
Yeah, that's where all the imagination comes in.
Yeah.
So obviously trying to put tire under that thing. I mean, we got to at least run a 265 for the daily setup. So trying to get that under fenders is going to be interesting.
We're cutting the fenders for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
The EP3 is one of those cars where, at least for us, it's sort of a sacrificial chassis. So it's one of those things where, like, if we gotta cut it, we gotta cut it. Let's make it happen. And then obviously I don't know. We have more plans for the car, but that's going to be sort of like stage 2 of trying to get even more grip out of like all-wheel drive or something like that. But maybe in the future, I don't know.
Yeah.
you know, obviously anything's possible with enough time and, you know, development. But you know, who anybody who's seen his blue car knows that we had like the 315s on the front of the RSX. So, you know, could you imagine 315s in all four corners and
Yeah,
and
all-wheel
700
drive.
horsepower or something?
Yeah.
All-wheel drive. So it's definitely, that car is definitely going to be like an insane freaking thing. But yeah, and just for people, I know they're probably thinking it's like, oh well, maybe I should go 23. 23 is one of those blowers where we have no idea what it'll do. I'm pretty sure you could make 600 on a 1900. So I mean, and then at that point, you know, I don't even think the blower will be stressed trying to run 600. It's just nobody's done it. So obviously, once we have the car running, we'll probably toss a 1900 on it, get a dyno, see what happens. Obviously, this engine is built to take boost now, so we'll definitely see what the capabilities and limits are with that one.
And that's good. Yeah.
Obviously, we're doing a lot of development with like trying to figure out a rear-wheel drive solution for, you know, not only the Miata but anybody trying to do stuff nowadays. It seems like for import guys, the K series is going to start being the new LS for import guys who want to stay, you know, Japanese or something.
Yeah.
I've seen 240s, 350Zs, freaking tube cars, Miatas,
Porsche.
obviously. Yeah, there's
R2s.
Porsches out there now. The MR2s all love it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Lotus guys have been around for a little bit. So Lotus Elises with 600 horsepower turbo stuff. And the other thing with like the EP3 is like, you know, you know, obviously being supercharger based, you know, we compete against turbos, and turbos forever have been, oh, you want more than 500 horsepower, go turbo. But we don't know yet. Obviously, we can make more than 500 horsepower, but it's not shown yet. Nobody's really made that jump in. We really want to be able to get there to show, you know, there's no disadvantage at this point to going big supercharger. Or there might even be benefits, especially with the way that the car drives is going to be completely different. So, you know, eventually, I don't know if it'll all happen next year, but, you know, being able to get that car, the EP3 out for like reviewers to be like, you know, spread the word, right? Like nobody thinks, you know, oh, you know, K series with the supercharger, oh, it can't be that fast. But, you know, let's see where it goes. You know, you know, get all the 1320 guys riled up or something and go down to Texas or something.
There is one guy that I met this summer. He has a like a 90s Mustang.
Yeah.
I think I told you, Jose, it is supercharged. I thought it was just one of these guys that just puts big tires on a Mustang. His Mustang is a seriously built car. And then he looked under the hood of my car and he's like, this is impressive, dude. He's like, how did you get this to go like that? How does this fit? I said, my friend built it. This is like something you're supposed to just bolt on. It's not something I mean, obviously the EP3 is different, but like this really just fits. And, you know, you guys impressed the hell out of, you know, with my orange plastic Civic that is not attractive to an American muscle dude. Now he wants me to take him on my car. He wants me to let him drive my car.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, we'll make some time, you know. I mean, obviously you want to tune it first, but
I almost wish we had an agent instead for the sacrificial build, or something a little with more engine bay, because we wouldn't have to cut so much. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, let's end it. Let's end it there. I know it's getting late for a lot of people. Andrew specifically here, you can see him. He's just sorry that I'm just ragging on you. Please don't take it the wrong way.
He's having fun, you can tell.
But you know, thank you to everyone who's followed me this year on Instagram, on YouTube here. The forum has been great. You know, like I almost gave up on forum, even on this forum. The forum people have been great, very accepting, and thank you guys again. Like we'll see each other soon. We'll do this again. Hopefully in January. I'll try to get another guest in here, and we'll just keep trucking along, man. Start, spreading the the gospel of Superchargers.
Yeah, thank you guys for getting to know me and my build and everything else. And what an honor to meet Jose Mercado for the Merc Racing. And I've always loved your setups, and I've always been following you for the past year, 2 years. Thank you, Barry, for accepting me as a new follower and also as a friend as well, to give you more knowledge and just go back and forth and give each other knowledge for each other.
Awesome.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. Everyone,
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. I hope you're having a good time. Good night.
Good night, guys.
All
See ya.
right, see you.